Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find the Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, the Monty Show is live on your YouTube machine. Happy Monday. Reminder, a week from now we'll be in Hawaii and you won't. Which means we won't be doing shows for the week of Thanksgiving. Probably should have flipped that in reverse order. The Monty Show, as always, is presented by the Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. Speaking of Thanksgiving, become a hero of hope this Thanksgiving with the Advocates and Heroes of Hope. If you have $1, $5, $1 million, there is their Venmo address on the screen, like over there, over there. Yeah. Make sure that you hit the Advocates on Venmo. Advocates donations on Venmo. Every dollar goes directly to a family in need this Thanksgiving season. The Michigan cheating scandal certainly has no needs because it is well fed these days, friends. And I think what we're figuring out now is that the messaging for Michigan is rather consistent. They roll Penn State this weekend, even though J.J. McCarthy's Heisman hopes died as Michigan ran the football all over the Fighting Paternos at Happy Ending Valley, which, of course, I'm going to say 1,000 times. And as Michigan heads to College Park to play Maryland this weekend, Jim Harbaugh may well be there, but I think the biggest question is Michigan America's team in what has to be one of the most incredible press conferences we have ever seen? Jim Harbaugh went on a rant of rants about his football club.
The perseverance, and then the stalwartness of these guys. I mean, yeah, watching, I would have to say, everybody. It's got to be America's team. It's got to be America's team. America loves a team that beats the odds, beats the adversity, overcomes what the naysayers and critics, so-called experts think. That's my favorite kind of team. And yeah, watching it from that view on the television, it was finally people get to see what I see every day.
I'm sorry, overcomes the odds, adversity, all of this, just unbelievable tragedies that have happened in the program, and I don't know how you explain it. Okay, I just lied. I explain it because, you got caught cheating multiple times. So I love this messaging that somehow Michigan is overcoming the odds. Michigan,
stalwartness.
With all of this adversity that we have rained down on ourselves by blowing our feet off during the COVID dark period and having hamburgers with recruits allegedly and watching workouts on Zoom and, overworking our coaches and then not being honest with or cooperating with the NCAA Committee on Infractions. That's why Jim Harbaugh took a 3-game self-imposed rip earlier in the season, right? Because remember, this isn't the first game he missed this year. He missed 3 games earlier. So this is the 4th game that good old Jimbo, the victim, has missed this season for Michigan. And I am amazed by it. I am amazed at the level of just a lack of empathy, a lack of awareness. And maybe it's just over the top awareness of just how guilty Michigan looks, that Jim Harbaugh today sat in front of the assembled media in Ann Arbor and called his team a victim, and that they have overcome adversity. And
that'd be America's team.
This is one of the most ridiculous things that I have ever heard in any way, shape, or form. Jake, is Michigan America's team?
There is no way Michigan is America's team. And this is, again, just more of the same material we've been getting out of Michigan for the last week. And, ever since the suspension was sort of hinted at, even before it got announced, even just the thought of there being a suspension of Jim Harbaugh absolutely triggered all the Michigan defenders, all the Juwan Howards and the Charles Woodsons and the Twitter tough guys and, all those people, Michigan's faithful, were all triggered and led by their hero of America's team, Jim Harbaugh. And it's been nothing short of sensational. Everything from we're a victim to, oh my God, you can't punish Jim for something that the school did, even though they're punishing the school by punishing Jim. Like, it's as if Michigan fan and Michigan themselves are living in some fantasy land. So the idea that Jim Harbaugh today stood up on the dais and tried to sell us a package about how Michigan is America's team couldn't be any farther from the truth. America and the American dream was not founded on, a philosophy of, let's cheat, lie, and pretend to be a victim to get everything that we could want, to get every type of advantage on our adversity, as Jim calls it. That's not what the American dream is. The American dream is, hey, we've got something in front of us, a challenge in front of us, which in this case, because it's football, would be a national championship and the path to it. And every other program in the country is busy, working their ass off in a fair way to try to get that job done. Nick Saban's got to play Georgia in the, SEC championship game in a fair way. So I don't really appreciate Jim coming out here and being like, yeah, this is, America's team because we've been through so much adversity and our program's just been ripped to shreds. I got news for you. Jim. Your program hasn't been ripped to shreds. And there is loads of evidence showing what you knew and what you didn't know and what you did and what you didn't do. So it's not anyone's opinion on what's going on here. It's what the evidence says. And it's just amazing to me that Jim Harbaugh would characterize this situation as victimhood because it's not. And I'm tired of hearing about it. It's not victimhood. If you really wanted to be America's team, you would be accountable. You would say, hey, you know what? They've got a case against us and we just got to deal with that. But I'm focused on football. That's what I'd be hearing. Not, oh my God, we're victims. Can't believe I had to watch this, Penn State game from wherever you watched it from on the tube.
Amazing.
As if your punishment was, go out to pasture and work a farm all day. Go into a mine and try to put food on your family's table. That's what is just incredible to me as to why he's characterizing it like this, because it's just not true.
Yeah, I think it's completely tone deaf, and it's one of the, and maybe the single greatest press conference we have ever seen.
I mean, it's nothing short of a political campaign at this point.
Honestly, it is remarkable. Oh, but did you think that was all that Jim Harbaugh said today? No, friends. Jim Harbaugh stood up in front of America and said he was robbed of due process.
I'm going to talk on Friday. Just looking for that opportunity. Due process. Not looking for special treatment, not looking for a popularity contest, just looking for the merit of what the case is. Senior in high school, I had a civics class and talked about government, justice, and what I took away from that class was that you're innocent until proven guilty. That was 40 years ago, but like that opportunity.
Listen to this guy. You forgot truth, justice, and the American way. You just tried to say truth, justice, and the American way, and you couldn't come up with it.
Doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than that.
Because nobody took due process from you, Jim. And I think this is the part of this conversation that is wild to me. He stands up there and he says that he wants to be judged on the merits of the case, on the evidence of the case. The evidence of the case does not support you, Jimmy.
Fine Steeler guy.
Right? Like, I got news for you, Jimmy. The evidence says you did this. Oh, but Monty, today on Twitter, I had 20, 30 people. He didn't know. How can he be suspended?
Via social media.
Well, if you read the letter and the actual suspension text that was sent to Michigan, Jim Harbaugh wasn't suspended. Michigan was punished by the suspension of their head football coach, who is Jim Harbaugh. And again, I say, this isn't the first time he's been suspended this year. You understand, if this 3-game suspension holds, Jim Harbaugh will have missed 6 games this season based on his action and the actions of his football staff.
Because it's illegal.
This is not accidental. This is not a lack of due process. To have a lack of due process, you must have the absence of any, and I mean any evidence and any preliminary hearings. Neither one of those is true. There is a mountain of evidence that Michigan football cheated when it sent scouts to other buildings. Advanced scouting while videotaping sidelines is wholly prohibited in the NCAA guidebook. And the Big Ten Conference let it be known that Jim Harbaugh and Michigan football got caught because Michigan has seen the video evidence. They have worked in concert with the NCAA to share information, which was also shared with Michigan. And how do we know that? Because the NCAA and Michigan talked, and Michigan gave the NCAA permission to share information with the Big Ten. So this whole idea that due process was taken from Jim and he just wants to be judged on the merits of the evidence is complete and utter bullshit. Because if he is judged on the merits of the evidence, Jim Harbaugh will not just miss 3 games. Jim Harbaugh will be out for probably the entirety of next season should he remain the head coach at Michigan football.
Thanks.
And again, I ask you, if Jim Harbaugh is this guy that coaches stood on the field and cried about, oh, Jimmy, I miss you, Jimmy. Oh. If that's who Jim Harbaugh is, why is there no contract extension? Where's the great contract extension we've been hearing about? How come that deal has not been signed, sealed, and delivered and put up on billboards across America that the great victim, the ultimate injustice, the suspension of Jim Harbaugh, where due process was absent and it was a witch hunt?
Doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than that.
Oh, that's right. They're not going to extend him because they know he's got not 1, not 2, but 3 massive investigations.
I'm for real.
Working against him at Michigan football. He's got the COVID dark period investigation, which many people think is over. My friends, it's not close to over. The NCAA laughed at Jim Harbaugh's settlement agreement where they said, oh, we'll take 4 games. No, you won't. So he gave himself 3 to try and offset. Then you have the FBI who is investigating Matt Weiss, the former offensive coordinator, for crimes committed using Michigan computers while he was the offensive coordinator at Michigan football. And now you have the single largest sign-stealing guy, cheater guy investigation we've ever seen.
Sign stealer guy.
In college football. All of them were on Jim Harbaugh's watch. So if we're going to sit here and we're going to call Jim Harbaugh the single greatest victim, should we at least expose the truth where Jim Harbaugh says he found out about his suspension on social media?
Just somebody showed me their phone.
So via social media, or the Big Ten contacted you?
Via social media. Via social media.
Did you expect to hear from the Big Ten, though? I mean, did that catch you off guard that you're reading about it on social media?
Ward was pretty upset. He was on the plane too, and he was pretty upset that he heard it through social media and not through the office.
That I can tell you from people we've spoken to is completely false. Michigan, the Big Ten, and the NCAA were in contact all day on Thursday and all day on Friday. Part of this was Michigan waited until the 47th hour and 59th second to return their response, which had to be returned in 48 hours. That was a big part of it. Number two, the Big Ten, who I know completely robbed Jim of all due process here. An innocent man is being victimized. They went through so much effort to deliver due process. They were talking to the NCAA. Then after that, they were talking to Michigan and Ward Manuel, who says he didn't find out until he was on the plane on social media, which is completely false.
My fucking ass.
Because as we told you Friday morning, the Big Ten let Michigan know, hey, a suspension is coming. We are working with the NCAA on the exact details of that. So it's not true that Jim Harbaugh found out, at least from our information, that Jim Harbaugh found out on the plane when somebody showed him a phone. That on social media, I found out.
Cheating, lying, and then playing the victim.
Jim Harbaugh was well aware on Friday morning that he was going to be suspended. He did not know 3 games, but he certainly knew he was not going to be eligible to coach the Penn State game. And if you want further evidence of that, did you read the 10-page response? Do you think that happened in 5 minutes? Did the court filing where they reached out to a Michigan booster who's a judge? Do you think that happened in 5 minutes? Oh, whoa, Jimmy got suspended. Better call our biggest booster on the bench. They knew it was coming. They had a response written. They had the draft written for the temporary restraining order. They knew exactly what judge they were going to go to, who kicked it to another judge that was on duty. And now they have a hearing scheduled for next Friday. So the idea that Michigan was victimized and they just didn't have the time to get a TRO to save Jim Harbaugh before the kickoff of the Penn State game is more utter bullshit from Michigan.
Congratulations, but that's bullshit.
It's just not true. And so we go through these processes, and I love that people are like, oh, Monty, the Michigan message boards. Here's the final salvo in the I don't even know, should we just call it the BS militia? Oh my God, Michigan is so upset. They're leaving the Big Ten. The first idiocy I heard about this on Saturday was, they're already talking to Brett Yormark about membership in the Big 12. Michigan's coming to the truck stop conference by flying over. They're flying over the other flyover conferences to come to the Big 12. Let me get this right. You're making, by some reports, you're going to make close to $160 million a year in the Big Ten if you're Michigan. So you're going to step down to like 40 million. So, and I just want to make, because Jim, I know you're a victim and we robbed you of due process and all that stuff.
Stalwartness.
It's worth, so you're saying it's worth at a minimum $115 million because due process to you is worth $115 million. So we're just going to step down financially to the Big 12 where we have all these truck stops and stuff in the conference. And you're going to just give away $110 million a year.
That'd be America's team.
That's never happening.
Ever.
Oh, but Monty, they'll go to the SEC. Here's the other. Well, they'll go to the SEC. Okay, so asking for a friend. Asking for a friend. So if the TV deal in the SEC is around $50 million. So instead of 115, you're just going to give away 100 million now. Okay, way more logical. You're going to walk away from okay, cool. Whew, I was really.
It makes perfect sense.
I was worried the Connor Stallions wouldn't have the budget to go steal
guy.
those. You're not walking away from $100 million. You're not. Stop it. Stop with this. Oh my God, the message boards are. Somebody sent me a message on Saturday on Twitter. The message boards are on fire. Ward Manuel is in Dallas meeting with the Big 12. That's funny. And I don't know. And listen,
right.
I'm not saying that he doesn't have a time machine. I'm not saying that. Okay. But he was on the plane when he found out Friday afternoon on social media. Let me show you the phone. I'm going to say he wasn't in Dallas on Saturday. I'm going to guess he was in the land of the Sandusky and the Happy Valley endings where Michigan was running all over, the Fighting Paternos. He was at Ward Manuel's in Dallas already meeting with, it's done.
Why would Brett Yormark want anything to do with this, Slick?
Let me get this right. He won't take Oregon State and Washington State,
Hey,
but
guys.
he's going to take Michigan and their 3 massive scandals.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, dude.
And Michigan's going to walk away from $115 million.
We're in a control position.
I mean, listen, we're Wolverines. We've got wings on our helmets and stuff. Like,
Right.
What's $115 million to us?
Got to be America's team.
What? Do you guys message Monty? Hey, fat ass, message boards are on fire over there in Michigan.
Via social media.
They're going to the Big 12. Ward Manuel's in Dallas right now. You kidding me? We're not going to stand for this lack of due process.
So-called experts.
Yeah, 4 more years, bro.
Doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than that.
Oh my God.
I don't even know what I'm begging you. Before you DM me.
Please.
Before you hit send, you're like, all right, Dallas in Dallas. Before you hit send, will you just be like, okay.
Monty.
I just wrote a DM off of a Michigan message board that's never right about anything. And look, I know up in Michigan that they have Wolverines that they've like got a deadbolt locked on to see what I did there. Anyway, the point is, I know that they're reporting that Ward Manuel is in Dallas. But can you just take a breath before you send that?
No.
I don't have a shovel big enough to dig out of that
A lot.
pile of manure.
Dude.
Like, I can't, I won't. Think about that. Michigan's going to the Big 12. Ward Manuel on a game day in Pennsylvania is in Dallas meeting with Brett Yormark on a Saturday with no notice. Brett Yormark's like, yeah, come on down to the ranch.
Dude,
I got
come
some
on
sun
down.
tea. Mrs. Yormark's got some sun tea on the patio. We're ready for you, Ward.
Pack everything up. We're out of here.
And he can't meet at the Omni Hotel because we all know Dallas is SEC country. So I'm going to say it's going to take some time to find a meet. He was not there. You guys stop.
Be better, dude.
Stop. And I'm trying not to laugh at you.
No redos.
And so, Michigan fan that keeps coming at us in the comments section about due process.
We need to talk about this. What due process? See, you were tweeting today. You were retweeting one of these hacks on Twitter, and you're like, can someone explain to me what due process exactly have you been robbed of? I'm still waiting for the clinical explanation of what due process Michigan and company have not been given. That's what I'm trying to understand. What have you not received, man?
And Harry on Twitter. Right? Harry, and I think it's Harry, our guy, Harry Austin on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
You asked about due process. The Big Ten admitted they do not have the evidence of the head coach. I get that they had a discussion with the NCAA, but that is separate investigation. No, it's not, actually. Why are they talking to the NCAA about the Jim Harbaugh situation? See, because it's a violation of the sportsmanship clause. That's what they're using. And we've shown you on the show, it's absolutely a violation of the sportsmanship clause to be sign stealer guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Sign stealer guy.
When it is a hardcore lack of and I can't find the graphic, of course.
Yeah, lack of institutional control.
But when it is that's clearly what it is.
Yeah.
It is a hardcore lack of institutional control.
Yeah, you're not you're not afforded the opportunity to say, "Oh yeah, I didn't know. No way I knew." And that makes me innocent and I should be on the sideline for Penn State and furthermore.
So when you say that's a separate investigation, the reason that Michigan was talking to the NCAA had gotten permission from Michigan to give the Big Ten all the evidence they had on the sign stealing investigation. So we know on the record they provided the Big Ten with video of people in the exact seats on the exact dates of the tickets that Connor Stallions bought, right? So they saw the video, they saw the people in the seats pointing their phones at the sideline. They know, based on testimony of people who took part, that video went to the cloud. Like, they're sharing information. The reason they're talking to the NCAA and vice versa is they have information that's now in one pot. So what they were doing was, hey, here's this. What do you think of that? Here's how we found it. This is what, okay. Hey, Michigan, just want to let you know, we're still talking to the NCAA. They're telling us X, Y, and Z. So on Friday, from what our sources told us, Friday morning, the NCAA and the Big Ten were talking. The Big Ten told Michigan Friday morning, there's going to be a suspension. We'll have details for you as soon as possible. And they kept going back and forth on evidence. So the idea, and Harry also says the Big Ten can suspend, and they did, but the question was about due process, which one could argue they did not. In what form did Michigan's due process get robbed from them? How did the NCAA breach due process with Michigan? When they talked to all parties involved, they looked at all the available evidence. They punished Michigan by suspending their head coach. So in no way, shape, or form did they say to Michigan, hey, we're suspending Jim Harbaugh for his actions. They said, we're suspending your football coach for your actions, which are not in question. I would also remind you, Michigan's never denied the sign stealing operation,
which the Big Ten pointed out in its partial reason as to why you got a suspension.
So here it is right here. When you look at this right here, here is the responsibility and accountability portion of the Big Ten rulebook. For the actions of its employees, coaches, student athletes, band, spirit squad, mascot, general student body, and any other individual or group of individuals over whom or which it maintains some level of authority. Okay, well, but that doesn't mean he has the, and here's the part that I love. Oh, Tony Petitti doesn't have the authority. Well, actually he does. The top line. The commissioner shall have the exclusive authority to determine whether an offensive action as contemplated in agreement 10.1 above has been committed by anyone referenced in 10.1 above. And then if you look at the bottom, in the event the commissioner determines that an offensive action has occurred, the commissioner shall have the authority to, there's that word authority, to impose any disciplinary action in response to the offensive action subject to the provision 10.331 below. So.
Okay, but Monty, he suspended him 3 games. What do you mean? He can't do that.
Well, by the rule book of the Big Ten, Tony Petitti can, without anybody's permission, suspend anybody 2 games and fine him $10,000. He suspended him 3 games, which means he had to go to the Big Ten Board of Presidents, which is a small group of presidents in the Big Ten who has to approve the discipline, which we are told they roundly did. So
what
I'm asking again, where's the lack of due process? Because I don't see it.
Would love for someone to explain it to me. Like,
I don't get it.
I don't understand. What are we missing?
I don't get it. And again, I'm just telling you, there's no way, shape, or form that Michigan is leaving the Big Ten. That is never going to happen. That is just simply not an option.
And the next time you criticize a conference for taking the TV money, remember this, because this is precisely why you always take the TV money. Because if they were only making $40 million per year of school, then the Michigan leaving the conference thing would have legs. But since you're making $100+ million a year, yeah, it doesn't have any legs. They're not going anywhere.
Nick McNaughton, man, this is clickbait. Almost has you at 1,000 people watching. How is it clickbait? Fact of the matter is the investigation isn't over. The NCAA investigation isn't over. What's that got to do with the Big Ten disciplining Michigan?
Again, what are we confused about?
Is it, and Guy, I'm going to assume you're a Michigan fan. Does it not register with Michigan fans? The NCAA and the Big Ten are two separate individual organizations. And the Big Ten, through its rule book that was ratified by all of its members, including Michigan, who hasn't left for the truck stop conference yet, to my knowledge, agreed to the rules of the Big Ten handbook. So when you say that the investigation's not over, I'm confused by that, because the Big Ten, nowhere in the handbook does it say the Big Ten has to wait for the NCAA, because it has overwhelming evidence that Michigan participated in a sign stealing operation. So again, Mike McNaughton, I'm asking you directly, Mike McNaughton, Mr. Hey, man, this clickbait almost has you over 1,000 people watching. So go ahead and again tell me, A, how is this clickbait? And B, what does it matter that the NCAA investigation isn't over?
And by the way, if Michigan fan found Ohio State doing what Michigan did, you guys you'd want to take an axe to the throat of their program. You want it both ways. You agreed to the book, and now you're crying a river about being disciplined by the very rules that you agreed to.
So I'm just asking Nick McNaughton, how is the investigation not over? Yeah, I think.
By the way, do you think that investigation? Do you think that investigation that you're saying isn't over is going to lead to good things for you and your program?
I mean, Jim, do you guys understand that Jim Harbaugh is at this moment suspended for 6 games of this season? 3 of it self-imposed. So he admitted what he did during the COVID period.
The coronavirus.
Like you're suspended 6 games of a season, and you're trying to cry foul
for a guy who has won 1 bowl game, I think, and has no natties.
Man,
what are we doing?
And we haven't even gotten close to anything with the FBI yet. So great. The Big Ten's investigation's over. The NCAA investigation's not over. And we don't know what the FBI is doing with Matt Weiss.
I mean, did you really think the Big Ten wasn't going to protect the integrity of the game?
And the other question I have is, you don't even know what Matt Weiss is being investigated for by the FBI. Has nobody thought? I think everybody thinks that Matt Weiss was like out stealing somebody's crypto. Has anybody thought that maybe he was trying to, I mean, what if it was cyber security breaches where he was trying to get into other teams' computers? What if it was Michigan football related and he was committing crimes? Because allegedly they're investigating computer crimes across state lines with multiple victims. So what if it's football related? Has that even sunk in to your wing T brains that Michigan, it's like these are small little petty issues.
You know,
that FBI investigation might be coming for that ass. Has anybody thought about that? Because I don't think Michigan fan has even contemplated that.
Just saying.
Right? Like I'm just curious about it. I'm just curious about it. Has Nick McNaughton answered our pleas for? And Nick, I'd really like you, Nick McNaughton. I'd really like you to educate me.
Please.
I know I don't know a thing, and I have no grasp on reality. And as everybody on Twitter, the Michigan fans today said, I just hate Jim Harbaugh and I just hate Michigan, which isn't true. I hate cheaters.
Fine Steeler guy.
I'm hoping you're gonna just inflict awesome amounts of education on me.
Yeah.
But I see that you haven't responded. So I'm guessing, here we go.
Okay.
If the coordinators knew they should be done, but we don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
So if the coordinators knew, let me get this right. You're saying if the coordinators knew about Connor Stallions, they should be fired, but Jim should not. Again, I don't know you, Nick McNaughton, from Jesus Christ. I don't know who you are. Do you have no idea what the NCAA rulebook says? It does not matter if Jim Harbaugh knew or didn't know. He should have known because it is his responsibility.
God bless.
He's the head coach. Crying foul by saying, oh, you can't fire me. I had no idea. Okay, you didn't know? Okay, I'm going to fire you because, yeah, you're not doing your job.
You know,
you're not watching over your staff, the actions of. And I would also remind you, institutional control is the gold standard when it comes to NCAA investigations. So it doesn't matter about at the coordinator level because they won't be there because Jim Harbaugh's, I think, probably going to resign, which is no contract extension. I think he's going to go back to wherever he came from, be it the NFL or somewhere else. I have no idea. And Michigan's do you understand they're going to drop not a hammer, but the biggest gun safe you can get your hands on, a Brinks truck, a vault. I don't even know the biggest, heaviest thing you can think of right on top of Michigan.
I'm Shiva, the god of death.
Because Jim Harbaugh is going to quit and leave them holding the bag, dude.
And by the way, you're burying yourself. You're proving our point with your comment, right? Like, again, lack of institutional control. You're fired. Cool. Doesn't matter what the coordinators knew. When Buddy's standing next to you in pictures on the sideline, I'm pretty damn sure you know who he was. Pretty sure you know who dude in the red circle is.
And again, there's a video on my Twitter feed today where Connor Stallions says the words, what most people believe is edge pressure. Jim Harbaugh is literally standing there like this, looking right at Connor Stallions, who's looking at the sign. We've seen the other side of the video. The sign comes in and he starts yelling edge pressure. Jim puts his headphones back on, puts the mic down and says edge pressure, edge pressure. Jim didn't know? The assistants didn't know? The players didn't know? Come on, man. Okay, at what point do you give up the ghost of this fight?
It's got to be America's team.
At what point do you give up the ghost of this fight? I don't know. Jobu for $2. It's going to be Weiss that truly kneecaps Michigan. You might be right about that. You might be right about that. Michael Jarrett. How's quorum not under investigation under LLC if all facts which seem to line in its truth? I don't know why you're yelling. Where is that at, especially when it's everywhere? Well, and where's your attorney? Because Blake Corum, what's being referenced is Blake Corum's name appears on a LLC filing in Wyoming, Montana?
Wyoming.
And according to the law of Wyoming and every other jurisdiction I'm aware of, frankly, if you forge somebody's name and his name is listed there, Connor Stallion's signature is there, and there is a box that is checked that says, hey, you acknowledge all of these people and all of the information you provided in this affidavit is true. He checked that box and signed it with the name of their LLC and Blake Corum. So my question is, if, as Blake said, his lawyer's on it, bro, if he's on it, and it truly is, and here it is right here, by the way, if it truly is your name right there, Blake Corum organizer, and you say your attorney's on it, how come Connor Stallions has not been brought up on charges of forgery and wire fraud?
Seconds are my thing.
Because Blake Corum stood in front of an assembled media like a dumbass and talked openly about it the other day.
Last week.
And your name is right here. Blake Corum, organizer. And so you said you had no knowledge of this and you were just so thankful. Just so thankful.
Threw up the prayer sign.
and said thank you to the person who found this and saved me.
A contract sort of surfaced on social media tonight that's linking you with Connor. Is what?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. My first time hearing it was when I went out to practice. And first of all, I have no businesses with him. I don't have any business with Connor, anything like that. But I'm glad whoever found it, whoever was searching the web was able to find that. I appreciate you. My attorneys are on it. You know.
My attorneys are on it. Where are the charges? It's a federal crime, what Connor Stallions did there. Are your attorneys on it? Oh. Maybe they're not on it because you're on it.
Oh.
Right? And the HOA, I'm going to guess the HOA is still pissed about all the vacuums on Connor Stallion's porch that they sued him over, which is where this all came out of. So you can't have it both ways, Michigan fan. And if you again are just tuning in, Michigan, and this is all about message boards, which is the part that just blows my mind.
It's incredible
that people continue to take what any Wolverine message board says to be truth.
Including Michigan's own lawyers.
Yes. Who? No, I'm not getting back in. Jim Harbaugh's lawyers. I think you guys probably are aware. Jim Harbaugh's lawyers last
So-called
week,
experts.
Michigan MGO blog. Right. This is right off of a blog post. Wow. I mean, that's
really well written.
That's amazing. And oh, hey, look at that. The exact same thing, word for word in Jim Harbaugh's lawyer's response. Word for word and word and word. Wow. Jim's got some really lazy attorneys, apparently.
What the fuck are you, Ranger Rick?
Did you think they wouldn't find out?
Come on, guy. Come on.
Less of us, more of you. And Michigan fan, you're completely welcome to be here. Love you guys.
I love the battle, dude.
But you won't answer the question.
Still.
Why have you not denied it?
Cheating, lying, and then playing the victim.
Why haven't you denied it? That's all I'm asking you. McNutton or Nick McNaughton.
McNutton.
Whatever. Hey, what you do in your personal time is not on Nick Naughton or whatever his name is. Nick, why haven't you denied cheating? You know, like Jamie on Twitter today, we don't have to justify it to you. Because you can't justify the fact that Michigan has never denied this happened.
My bad.
Now, I mean, not a single time have they said, we didn't do this. Never denied it. All Michigan has done is attack the Big Ten. All Michigan has done is attack its fellow Big Ten members. All Michigan has done is said due process, due process, due process. But you can't explain why you haven't denied it and what due process you were robbed of.
Me?
I'm just asking, again, for a friend. I probably should not take this buckshot because if we're being honest,
Pause, bro. Pause.
I feel like I have some pretty good mental clarity.
Here, you take mine. You take mine. Oh, you got it. Let's
Bro,
go,
I lift.
baby.
I live.
Let's go.
Tomorrow, 50% off, BuckedUp.com. Make sure you go in, register for the sale today at BuckedUp.com. Use the promo code Monty. Load up your shopping carts because tomorrow, one-day event, Black Friday comes early at BuckedUp.com. 50% off of all their supplements. You know that they are world-renowned for their pre-workouts. You know that this product right here is one of the hottest products in the fitness world. It is Buckshot. It is your energy shot. And I love all the people who are like, oh, man, I wish I'd found this earlier. I'm, the 5-hour energy. 5-hour energy, everybody who tries Buckshot after being a 5-hour energy user is like, I can't believe how bad 5-hour energy is.
Because it's garbage.
Because this stuff is naturally sourced caffeine, 200 milligrams. So there are no spikes, there are no bombs, and it tastes amazing. Cheers to you, my friends. Go get 6 free Buckshots right now in the description below. And then don't forget tomorrow, 50% off at BuckedUp.com. You must pre-register for their sale, which you can do at BuckedUp.com. It's that simple. You want to buy something and you don't want to wait, make sure you get to BuckedUp.com. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% off at checkout. All right, let's get your thoughts in here. Appreciate everybody contributing today. Brandon Butler, a member of the show for 10 months.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, Brandon. Did you say signed, sealed, and delivered? The signed,
see what he
sealed,
did there, dude?
I believe
Signed
it to be
Steeler guy.
Stole it and delivered, signed, stole, and
Doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than that.
look at that, Aztec Glenn. Brady Hoke is gone. Glenn,
Not a new beginning, sir.
it's a good day for you. Leave the Big Ten. Michigan and Jim Harbaugh can, quote, crawl to San Diego State on broken glass. Psst. There's a newly opened head coaching position at San Diego State as of today. Imagine the merged possibilities. Can you imagine the pro rata you deserve hiring Jim Harbaugh?
dude.
Oh, my
Keep
God.
it real.
Bro.
That would be amazing. J-Rod for $10. When facts are not on your side, argue the process. Totally agree.
Facts, dude.
LV Seminole, a member for 8 months.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, LV Seminole. Good to see you. Ryan Willie for $5. In my opinion, Harbaugh is a bad liar. Michigan only made the threat of leaving the Big Ten was to get the commish to rescind the penalty, which he has not. And he's not going to. And I give Tony Petitti a lot of credit because Michigan and Michigan fan, and I think we all know the Michigan fan base is tremendous. It is massive. There is a ton of Michigan fans, and they're all passionate. They all love their Wolverines. And they have all come down on Tony Petitti, even though Michigan's never denied doing this. Even though Tony Petitti is perfectly within his scope of authority in suspending Jim Harbaugh for 3 games. They've all come down on him. Oh, you're terrible. You're okay. Let's see what a judge says on Friday. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what this judge does. Because if the judge was immediately going to grant the TRO, she would have done that already.
Facts.
But instead scheduled a meeting, and I don't or a hearing. I don't understand why the hearing is not until Friday. I am surprised it was not Wednesday. And maybe there's calendar issues. I don't know. Michigan's got another trip on Friday, which makes it highly improbable Jim Harbaugh coaches Saturday in College Park, Maryland.
Some shit happened.
Because I have to think.
Well, you're getting due process. So, you can't be mad.
It's kind of crazy it's Friday and not sooner, but, who knows. Aaron Wilson gifted 1 Monty Show membership. Appreciate you, Aaron. Thank you very much. J-Rod, if you can't defend the evidence, attack the process. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Ralph Wolf replying to Boss Frog.
Oh, Boss is here.
Boss Frog. Jake, Boss Frog's here. Say hello.
Hi, guys. Hey.
Hey. Hi.
Hey, Boss.
Hi. How are you? I don't know where Boss
Hey,
Frog
guys.
There's Boss Frog. I mean, he is definitely racking up billable hours. He is. It's remarkable what it is remarkable to me that Jim Harbaugh's lawyer did this. Like, it is. Am I the only one who's stunned by this?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know like what the strategy is out of the Michigan camp because, and I know this is Jim Harbaugh's lawyer, maybe not same lawyer as Michigan, but either way, I mean, I whether it's this situation or whether it's the response written by Michigan's legal team, I don't know what your strategy was other than we're going to try and play bully ball. And
that's exactly what this
right?
is.
Like, we're just going to try and strong arm Tony Petitti, a new commissioner. We're going to try and instill fear and play the power game. And unfortunately for Michigan, Tony Petitti has nothing to be worried about because the facts are on his side. He's just dealing in what the evidence is, which is precisely what Michigan fan doesn't want to recognize, I feel like, which is Tony Petitti has seen everything the NCAA has seen. So he's not scared of some hearing on Friday. He's not concerned. He's not sitting there shaking in his boots saying, oh my God, Michigan's threatening me and telling me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. When in reality, what did he do? He dropped the suspension and through that process absolutely made an ass of you guys. Pointed out how strong-armed you were about it.
Yeah. And Tom Mars is a very good attorney. It's not like he's a hack, and he is a very good attorney.
And look, I understand he didn't have a lot of options. I get it. But I I don't know. I guess I felt like there would have been a better way to go about this if you were Michigan.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see. Robert L., the law firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. See what he did there? See what he did there.
Yeah.
Nick McNaughton, because there's no denying it. So you did this. Why are you fighting so hard then to defend Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah, help us understand.
And this is the inevitable conversation. If you know that you did this, and the preponderance of the evidence is absolutely it happened, I don't know that there's any way to deny. I would never be able to deny it. If I were the president of Michigan, I would have put Jim Harbaugh on immediate indefinite suspension and had one of his assistants coach the team through the end of the year, and then I would have fired them all.
That's right, T.
Because I'm not giving up a spot to and the other thing here is Michigan's a very good football team. You don't need, in my opinion, to be beholden to Jim Harbaugh, the multi-time admitted cheater now, because again, you have level 1 and level 2 violations from the COVID investigation. And now nobody's denying what his football staff did, whether he knew or not. He's a multi-time cheater. How are you defending this guy? Michigan deserves better. This is what I've said from day one. Michigan deserves better. It's a fine institution. It is an unbelievable house of education with one of the best football teams in the country this year. So you're defending an admitted liar? You're defending somebody that from the evidence we've seen, you immediately suspended Connor Stallions. That on its face says you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the fact that Central Michigan's not denied he was standing on their sideline. Hey, what are you defending Jim Harbaugh for?
I could understand it if the cheating led to natties. Hey, you're winning natties? Okay. Die on the hill for dude. He's your guy. Hey, we're Georgia. We're multi-time national championship holders, right? We got the belt. We got the trophy. We're the guy. Okay, cool, man.
So what are you hanging on to?
Like, defend it to the death. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a guy who not only doesn't sniff the national championship game, he struggles to win bowl games. You guys understand that, right?
And I think ZCM makes a great point. And it wasn't Ohio State that turned him in. We talked, reported exclusively, and now everybody around the country's run with it. We told you first on this show, an internal investigation begun by Michigan itself is what uncovered this evidence. They hired an outside firm with a fiduciary responsibility. They are tied to their ethics.
Because Michigan can't investigate themselves, right?
They hired an outside firm who, when investigating, because all this goes back to ultimately Matt Weiss and the FBI. We were told that when the FBI noticed Michigan, hey, we're coming in on this case, partnering with the University of Michigan Police Department to investigate whatever it is that happened with Matt Weiss. Michigan was like, okay, we're going to do an internal investigation. They hired an outside firm who has an ethical and moral responsibility to report their findings. And when they found all of the evidence, and apparently it was a treasure trove of evidence they found on Michigan football computers about this sign stealing operation, they had no choice but to report it to the NCAA. But no, Michigan fan and the Wolverine podcasts and the message boards who haven't been right about anything here went right to Ryan Day's brother. He owns a
dangerous misinformation.
Yeah, he owns an investigation firm. This is amazing. They hacked into Michigan computers. No, they didn't. Like, it's remarkable to me. Where was Connor's due justice? He was suspended within 48 hours of the story blowing up.
Dude, there's no question what Connor Stallions is. He's a fall guy. Why? That's a great point. Why did they fire him? Essentially, I know he resigned Michigan. Why'd you fire him? Oh, that's right. Because you went ahead and said, hey, and this is what I thought was so funny about Michigan's response to the notice. Michigan goes in their response, dude, we're not aware of any ongoing violations. We let him go. We're not violating anything on an ongoing basis, as if that's what this conversation's about. You really thought that by firing sign stealer guy, that was going to be good enough and all your trouble was just going to disappear? Dude, the Big Ten and the NCAA have an obligation to make sure the integrity of the game is at the absolute highest level. Do you understand? And this is something that nobody, including ESPN or anybody else, is talking about. Do you understand that if the integrity of the game can't be trusted in any sport, you're talking about TV partner issues, betting partner issues, like anybody who's a part of the game who's not playing the game has issues with you because they can't trust the result.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Mike Smith, did Connor Stallions have anything to do with the plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer? Okay, the Todd father. Buck up, Nick. Only thing that you can do at this point, like seriously. Boss Frog, by the way, Tom Mars, who's representing Jim Harbaugh, is also representing Mel Tucker. Just interesting info. He's a phenomenal attorney.
Which, again, is why I say, was this the only angle this big boy attorney could come up with?
What's a Michigan message board?
Like, you're paying him to do that.
Yeah, it's remarkable to me. Coming up in 3 minutes, we got to talk about, we'll recap the Harbaugh news headlines. We got to talk about Jimbo Fisher's buyout.
Dude,
you want to talk about crazy. Conundrum, have the vacuums been taken into evidence?
Vacuums are my thing.
Right? Come on. Spangler, Michigan doesn't get 30% of Dallas Cowboys TV ratings. Well, America's team. I'll play that America's team video for you.
Got to be America's team.
Coming up here in a bit. Expedition Greg, Michigan thinks they are above the rule book when the other 13 members are not. There's a lot of that too.
I don't even know that it's that. I think that Michigan thought that they could just spin this thing away, that they could say, oh, look over here, like Ryan Day, Connor Stallions, like, we would never do anything like that intentionally. We're the great and almighty Michigan. That's what I think they thought they could do here. That they just thought, oh, well, the Big Ten is never going to come in here and do the right thing. They're never going to come in here and execute our cute little catchphrase of due process. They're not going to do that. But it turns out they did.
Yeah. Any Ohio State or Northeast Ohio Boise State fan? No, not Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is going to be the next head coach of the Los Angeles, who should be in San Diego Chargers. Because I think they're going to make a coaching change. That team, that was a frustrating weekend. We'll talk about it coming up in an hour and 2 minutes on the show. Mike Smith, Tom Mars got to be a rich man. He does well. TH, the politician's playbook. I've seen it all when college football looks like campaign ads. Keep tossing misinformation to take the eye off the wrongs actually done and justify otherwise.
Y'all feel me?
I would agree with that. Aaron Wilson says buckshot is phenomenal. Best product for me. With all of the fitness and the I'm not going to say overwhelming weight loss, but I am in significantly better shape than I have been in my adult life, and I give a lot of that credit to BuckedUp because their protein, their buckshot, I mean, all of it is phenomenal. It is, it is absolutely worth the price of admission at BuckedUp.com. Spangler, Michigan can apply for membership in the Big 12 just like anyone else. Not sure there are any openings available right now, though. Like, Michigan fan is so desperate. Oh, we're screwing you. Okay, well, you're not leaving $115 million behind. You're not.
Yeah.
Michigan's not allowed to comment on it because of the NCAA investigation still ongoing. Then why are they commenting?
Yeah, that's funny.
Because Jim Harbaugh is commenting on it. Their releases have commented on it. Their statements have commented on it. Like, all Michigan's done here is comments on it. That's all they've done. Boss Frog, I mean, Tom Mars is definitely racking up billable hours. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Jimmy Otson, what? Sale? I just bought some buckshot, even though they won't give me any more free ones. Well, see, Jimmy? Because you guys, we have free samples in the description below, but you only get so many.
Yeah, Jimmy, you're not Jimbo Fisher, so you don't just get free money to sit on the couch. Okay?
You know.
Come on.
Hey, Tom, Boise State, San Diego State, Mississippi State, jobs all open. Texas A&M open as well. Is Lane Kiffin going to Texas A&M? I have a hard time believing that. Force Ghost Fabio, as a San Diego State alum, I don't want Harbaugh. Who do you want? John DeLon, I am really curious about exactly what Michigan plans to accomplish with their action. Are they trying to prove how far they can throw their toys out of the playpen?
Dude,
that's my point. And I understand. Listen, the judges in this case, it's filed in Ann Arbor. It's going to be a Michigan alum. Michigan has a phenomenal law school. I don't know how you would avoid it. Are you really telling me you're going to sit in front of any judge with any credibility, ethics, any legal ability, and you're going to tell this judge that Tony Petitti doesn't have the authority when he clearly spelled out in the Big Ten rulebook does? You're not going to deny the wrongdoing. I mean, it is A plus B equals denial of this temporary restraining order. And I think the other thing you risk is if you get this TRO, I think you are looking at a very serious situation where you're forcing the college football playoff to act.
Yes.
Because remember, the NCAA does not control the college football playoff. And the NCAA will take its sweet ass time, knock yourself out. The college football playoff committee does not have to abide by anybody's rules but their own.
And to this point, they've said it's not their business, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've said, hey, you know, the playoff committee does not get involved in disciplinary actions. That's not our purpose. But at some point, that marketing stance is going to have to change. At some point, you have to consider what's happening.
TH says that judge is going to grant it. On what grounds would she grant it? Number one. Number two, TH says should stop worrying about the big and start worrying about the college football playoff teams. They're going to have to play. It's obvious Penn State is and was not a top 10 program. Not going to throw for 60 and winning in the college football playoff program. JJ McCarthy. And JJ McCarthy's an interesting case study because he's a guy that's been put up as a Heisman candidate, which we've said is ridiculous because I think it's been Michael Penix and now I think it's Bo Nix.
Mm-hmm.
But JJ McCarthy is not a franchise carry an entire team kind of quarterback. I just don't see him in that light. I really don't. Lance Johnson for $5. Michigan is trying to strong arm the Big Ten, just like Texas did the Big 12. Leave UM. Where are you going to go?
Well, here's the deal, though. This is a completely different leverage play. The difference is Michigan has no leverage. And the difference is Texas and Oklahoma had a ton of leverage. They have viewership. They're huge brands. They have the power to say, yep, we're packing up and leaving. They have that power. That's well within their right. And all they had to do was negotiate the buyout, their buyout to the conference. So It's two totally different situations. And I appreciate your logic there, but I don't think this is actually even close to similar. I think that Michigan has no legs here. And they're trying to find their way, whereas Texas and Oklahoma were like, "Nah, I'm good. We're going to leave. Let's negotiate the buyout."
And again, I will just say this Michigan team's the best Michigan team they've had. From the offensive line, their ability to control the interior line, I think the defense is rock solid. I think JJ McCarthy, while not spectacular, does not make a lot of mistakes. Like it just feels like you're in a situation where you're good enough, and now, because karma's a bitch, you got caught stealing signs.
And that's the other thing here, too, that I always point out when we talk about this the last 2-3 weeks now. Dude, it's not like they're giving you, again, it doesn't exist anymore, but like a death penalty level punishment or like some sort of just crazy over the top, like you're done for. It's 4 games, dude.
Yeah.
Or 3 games. Like this is not. Like, what are we really talking about here?
What are we doing? Yeah, come on.
Like,
now.
It's not like you're dead or anything.
And you should win the 3 remaining games.
Yeah.
If you're the biggest, baddest MFer on the planet, like we're like our guy Tom, who won the tickets last week, wants to go to the Michigan-Ohio State game. Do you understand the broker that we use for our tickets has 1 pair of tickets, or this morning at 11, had 1 pair of tickets left for that game.
Yeah, Tommy might want to reply, dude.
1 pair of tickets left for that game. Like, that's a huge game at your house. Are you really going to tell me you're going to lose that game to Ohio State? Come on now.
And last thing, then we got to move on. I know. But the penalty allows Jim to still coach you during the week. It allows Jim to still build the game plan, to still
if I were Michigan, I would take this happily.
Hey, we did it, right? As the commenter said, hey, we did it.
For all of the stuff we did, our head coach is going to take a 3-day ban, and you guys are pissed. What are you talking about?
Have some perspective, man.
No, I say this in life all the time. Choose your battles.
Yeah.
You're going to fight the NCAA on multiple fronts. You're going to fight the FBI. Do you really want to piss off the Big Ten?
I knew today would be shitty.
Now it's too late. You already did. Are you really telling me that this is a fight you should have fought? You really think this is a fight worth fighting? 3 days. He can prepare you all week long. Just can't be in the stadium on game day.
That'd be America's team.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Just the only thing worse than that are the people who haven't gotten the $10 30-day trial membership at TryDayTrading.com. I mean, it's unbelievable. I am so stoked. It is Monday at 6 o'clock Eastern. I cannot wait to get back home to get back to work at TryDayTrading.com. I love it. I am so stoked. Mrs. Monty's going through the program, working with her on it, watching her trade, watching her go through the proprietary software that you get. Like this 30-day trial, which is $10, and that's a charitable donation. It's a tax write-off. You will be able to, in that 30 days, get high-level coaching, get access to their proprietary software, and make a decision. Is day trading for you? And when I say full-time day traders, that's 90 minutes in the morning, and if you want to, 90 minutes at night. 90 minutes in the morning, you program those trades. On average, the people who do it full-time make $1,000 a day or more on average. Those who use day trading as a side hustle make $300 to $500 a day on average. You can have it any way you want because Tri-Day Trading is going to put you through their program. And the best part is when you graduate, which means you're ready to begin trading, they're going to fund a trading account with their own money, and you're going to start trading with their money. And when you make money with their money, you can earn up to 80% of the profit. This is a no-brainer. Get the 30-day trial membership right now. Stop complaining about your life, your car, your football coach, and go make the money you've dreamed of. TryDayTrading.com. All right, before we get to the action that happened on the field this weekend, 1 hour from now, we'll be talking NFL because I think we have a major quarterback problem in the NFL that we have to get to. So we'll lead with that coming up in an hour from now. But the latest out of the Michigan story is this threat that everybody is talking about with Michigan leaving the Big Ten. I am here to tell you it is a bunch of malarkey. We reached out to all of our sources today. That's not happening. They have not explored leaving the Big Ten on any way, shape, or form. I am told that Michigan is consumed with this Jim Harbaugh suspension and this cheating scandal, and they are trying to find a way to lessen the impact as much as they can, which is why so many people are surprised that Michigan is not looking at this suspension on its face, which is 3 days. It's 3 game days of teams at Penn State, at Maryland, and at Ohio State at the Big House that most people think Michigan are better than. Look at the lines. This weekend, Michigan, I think, is a 19-point favorite on a 50-point number. They're better than Maryland. Jim Harbaugh being on the sideline on game day is not going to make or break that team. But Michigan feels like they are a bit overwhelmed by this. And they also feel like, reputationally speaking, and especially for their boosters and fans, they want to come out swinging on this. And I think Michigan's done exactly that. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this all happens. Now, there is a restraining order hearing coming up this Friday. Jim Harbaugh today said he will be at that hearing. And the interesting part about what Jim Harbaugh said today is he feels like he was robbed of due process.
I'm going to talk on Friday. Just looking for that opportunity, due process. Not looking for special treatment, not looking for a popularity contest, just looking for the merit of what the case is. I senior in high school, I had a civics class and talked about government, justice, and what I took away from that class was that you're innocent until proven guilty. That was 40 years ago, but like that opportunity.
Man, Jim Harbaugh will be at the temporary restraining order meeting on Friday. He intends to speak to the judge. Both sides will be able to present evidence. Then we will get a ruling in. The question is, will Jim Harbaugh be in College Park, Maryland on Saturday? Opinions vary widely on that. Michigan is a 19-point favorite. 50.5 is the number. Big noon kickoff at Maryland on Fox Saturday afternoon. But what a weekend in the Big 12. Here's a question for you. Who controls the Big 12 title race? Because I think when you look at what happened with Texas and you look at the shocking events that Jonathon Brooks tore his ACL and is out for the year, Jake, has Texas lost control of the Big 12?
Yeah, I think they're definitely at risk of losing control of the Big 12. I think that Jonathon Brooks is, clearly one of your biggest weapons, dual threat guy, catch it in the flat, make a bunch of plays, run it through the A gap, run over people. He's one of the best talents on offense that you had. And so they haven't lost control of the Big 12 yet. Everything is still in front of them. Obviously, Iowa State and Texas Tech are your two remaining games for the Big 12 championship game, assuming you win both of those. So to me, Texas is still in control, but I think the path gets more difficult from here because, again, as an offense, you did a lot through Jonathon Brooks. Not to say that you were this super run-heavy team that, for lack of a better example, Jonathon Brooks was not what Ollie Gordon is to Oklahoma State, let's say, in their offense. But Jonathon Brooks is absolutely a guy that opposing defenses have to respect. So to not have him means that you're going to have to lean on Quinn Ewers more. Quinn Ewers is going to have to go out there and win you games through the air when it comes down to it. And again, I think Quinn Ewers before the injury was having a hell of a year. Obviously, the Oklahoma game was the one loss that you weren't real thrilled with, but the Alabama win was just an incredible performance out of this offense. But my question is, can Quinn Ewers, when you need him to, throw the ball down the field, and go out and win you a game? Because I'm not sure he's shown you that yet. I'm not sure that Quinn can quite do that. Can he lead an offense? Yes, but I don't know that he can be quite that good to go ahead and win you the Big 12 on its own. That's why I think you haven't lost control yet, but I think you're at risk of losing control right now with this injury.
Yeah, I think it is. Quinn Ewers has to play better. Plain and simple. And that defense is going to have to just step up because I think Jonathon Brooks is the best two-way back in the country, obviously running the ball, but I don't think people understand the impact he had on Texas's passing game. I don't think there's any doubt that you are going to have to get an unlikely performance if Texas wants to win the Big 12 championship and go on to the college football playoff. Somebody that we don't talk about regularly is going to have to step up and make plays in the next couple of weeks, or I think Texas is going to be in real trouble because, again, you look at the fight to beat TCU, and I think TCU was never going to quit in that game. It was an impressive battle. I thought TCU represented themselves very well, and Texas hung on to win. But it is demoralizing when you lose what could be one of your best players on that entire team. I think I can make an argument he's your most important offensive player. I think you're in a real difficult spot here. And it comes the same weekend that UCF stunned Oklahoma State. And I don't know if anybody's done a wellness check on Ollie Gordon. I'm not sure. That dude ran for 25 yards. So we can stop talking about Heisman Trophy candidates. And this was an amazingly bad performance out of Oklahoma State. And you knew when UCF came into this league that the bounce house was going to produce some games like this, where you were going to go there and you were going to lose and you were going to be scratching your head trying to figure out what the hell happened. And the answer is, I don't think anybody really knows what happened, because when you go there and you lose 45-3, I said UCF 45-3 over Oak State. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, my biggest thing here with this game is that, you win Bedlam and then you go and do this. And it tells me the kind of team you are, with all due respect, it tells me the kind of team you are because, any great team understands, and this is what I would say about Texas too, right? Like any great team understands, hey, we just won our Super Bowl of the year in Bedlam, and now we come out and we no-show. So all the Mike Gundy crap about Bedlam is meaningless now. I don't want to hear about it with some huge win and, oh my God, we did this for our fans. Yeah, you did this for your fans too. Against a team in their first year in the Big 12, against a team who didn't have JRP for 3 weeks or whatever it was, didn't have their quarterback for however long that was. And they come in here and they punch you in the face.
And then you look at what Texas Tech did, and Kansas absolutely gave this game away. Now, I understand Beanpot got hurt. Once Jason Bean went out, that was not the same game. But Texas Tech stepped up defensively with Kansas pressing repeatedly. And you look at what Taj Brooks gave that team. I thought that was an incredible performance out of Texas Tech. And now here we are. We find ourselves looking at this conference, wondering who are the two best teams. I think Texas is still the best team. I have no idea who the best team between Iowa State, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State is. They're all 5-2. Obviously, Oklahoma State has the advantage here. But now you have to wonder if you're Oklahoma State. I mean, you should roll over Houston.
Yes.
In Houston.
Yes.
And you should absolutely boat race BYU. But are you gonna? I think that's a real question mark. Are you going to boat race those two teams? Because you're playing two of the worst teams in the league. Both are 2-5. BYU can't seem to function offensively at this point. They got torched by Iowa State, who is, again, I point out Iowa State's 5-2. Bowl eligible now at 6-4. And I think it's very interesting that Iowa State finds itself in a situation where, oh man, that Kansas loss is going to haunt you.
Yes, it is.
And I go back to the Oklahoma game where you were never in it. And you feel like that probably cost you an opportunity at the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah, and I think if you're Iowa State, you're sitting here looking at your two remaining games. You're going to lose to Texas. I'm a big believer in that. Texas is not going to give that game away. And then the K-State game. K-State has shown us there are two different teams depending on the day. I mean, if I get Will Howard, gunslinger K-State, you're going to lose that game. But if I get 4 interceptions, not showing up, K-State, you're going to win that game. So to me, Iowa State, you're exactly right. I mean, losing to Kansas, that's the one that really kneecapped you. Because if you'd have won that game, we're having a completely different conversation. But the original question here is, who really is in control of the Big 12? And to that, I say it's still Texas. We need to see what this team looks like without Jonathon Brooks. We need to see Sark come up with a coaching performance these last 2 weeks and show us what he can do to cover that gap. Because you still, make no mistake about it, Texas is still loaded with talent. Even without Jonathon Brooks, Texas still has more talent than you. So it's not as though Texas is, suffering, but there's no doubt about it. This is a huge loss. And I wonder how the ratio of run to pass is going to change for this offense the next 2 weeks. Because if they turn into this team that's asking Quinn Ewers to throw, 40 times, let's say you're working towards 50, you're not winning those ball games. You have to continue to stay committed to the ground game if you're Texas, if you want to win the Big 12.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Dakota Tubbs, Holly Gordon got spooked after he had a nightmare. I hope you're kidding. That Cody Schrader being a better running back than him.
He's kidding. He's a
you must fan. That much.
Yeah. Next comment.
Kaufman, member for 8 months. Kaufman, appreciate you. Hi guys, keep up the great work. Appreciate it. Bigfoot Duck, a member for 8 months. If he gets on the stand, he opens himself up. Well, I would agree with that.
Yeah. And
but
Jim,
is he going to make a statement or testify, or it'll be very interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, and Jim flat out said in his press conference today that he has no idea how it's going to go.
Yep. Ryan Willie, Harbaugh won't stay at college level. He'll coach the Chargers or the Bears, please. Please don't say that. I think Kellen Moore has got a real opportunity because Justin Herbert really likes Kellen Moore. Really likes Kellen Moore. And it'll be interesting with the Boise job open. I don't know if I'm Boise. I think it's a huge risk to hire Kellen Moore. A huge risk. But if you're San Diego playing in the Rams house in LA, I think you got to do everything you can do to keep Justin Herbert happy because you don't have an offensive line and you probably don't have enough weapons.
Do you really think, though, it's that much of a risk for Boise State? I mean, you're hiring a guy who obviously went there and, did his thing.
He's a legend.
I don't know, dude. I think that's a win-win if you're Boise State. You bring him in to be your head coach, and let's say it flames. Well, hell, I mean, you guys brought in a legend, and it didn't work out. Big deal. Yeah. But he's inexperienced. Nothing says that he would be successful.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
His offensive coordinator abilities are in question. Gary, a member for 8 months. OG Gary, good to see you. Chip Kelly to A&M. I think not. I think Chip Kelly's going to have a tough time getting a big job.
Yeah, and I think A&M needs to hire someone who's worth a damn.
Yeah.
Because Jimbo embarrassed them. Absolutely embarrassed them.
I mean, obviously at Texas A&M, if you guys did not hear the news somehow, Texas A&M fired Jimbo Fisher. They owe him $77.6 million. They owe him $20 million within the next, I think it's 60 days. And then boosters are going to pay the first $7 million installment. And then A&M will pay the rest of it. So he's getting paid. But the name that everybody's talking about is Lane Kiffin. And here's a question I have for all of you. Is Texas A&M a marquee job? And I just don't think it is. I think Jimbo Fisher has always been a hell of a recruiter. He hasn't won because he hasn't developed talent and they're not well coached. He doesn't beat Nick Saban, but he's got all this elite talent. So my question is Jimbo Fisher the problem, or is it just that Texas A&M is very much a mediocre program?
Yeah, I think the problem for an A&M right now is that, the list of names that you guys all know and love who, potentially in a fantasy world could be interested in this gig is getting shorter by the day, because if I'm Lane Train, I'm not going to A&M when I'm at Ole Miss already. I'm ranked 13th in the nation. Just got my ass kicked by Georgia, but that's not really an indictment on the program, in my opinion. I think Georgia was looking to flex on Ole Miss and really kind of establish themselves in the playoff. Honestly, I think that's what that was. But if you're Lane Kiffin, you're not taking the A&M job. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Lincoln Riley. Why would Lincoln Riley go to A&M when he's at SC?" And I know there's a bunch of turbulence at SC right now because they've not been very good. But you can't tell me Lincoln, after firing Alex Grinch, is not on a mission to turn that program around.
And I think you've had some very mediocre coaches recently. I mean, if you look at what R.C. Slocum meant to that program, he retired after 2002. I mean, 22 years ago, right? And since then, you've had Dennis Franchione, Mike Sherman, who was a 500 coach.
Mm-hmm.
Franchione was just over a 500 coach. Kevin Sumlin won the SEC Coach of the Year in 2012 and was never heard from again. And now Jimbo Fisher just can't win big games. So if you're going to take that job, the question that I have to ask is, who's going to be excited to take that job? Because I don't think it's Cliff Kingsbury. I don't think there is a Texas native that moves the needle. And why on earth would Lane Kiffin leave Ole Miss and leave the SIP to go to Texas A&M?
He wouldn't.
That does not make sense to me.
No, I mean, and the other problem is all his guys are finally in the program. Whether it's Jackson Dart or otherwise, all his guys that he recruited, that he wanted on his team, are now there. So the problem with the Lane Kiffin argument is that It's not even just that they're ranked or that Ole Miss, in my opinion, is a bigger job than A&M. The problem is that Lane in the program building arc, as I call it, right? You came in as the head coach. Now we're climbing the mountain. He's halfway up the mountain now. He's got his players. He's developing guys. He's trying to get to that next level, which would be getting into the college football playoff for them.
Can you buy, who's an outrageous? Dan Lanning. There's not. Why would he leave Oregon?
He wouldn't.
He's on the verge of a conference and a college football playoff appearance. Why would he leave Oregon? That makes absolutely no sense. He's got a likely Heisman Trophy winner in Bo Nix. Why would he leave Oregon? And everybody, the money at Texas A&M. Phil Knight's got more money than God. Do you really think money's a problem at Oregon? Do you really think Texas A&M's a higher profile gig than Oregon in the Big Ten?
No.
Got your goddamn mind.
Which I think a lot of people aren't thinking about with these coaches too. Realignment is changing the opportunity for these coaches. I mean, do you really think it's lost on Dan Lanning that if he were to get into the college football playoff this year, if he were to go to the Pac-12 championship game, which it looks like they will, face Washington again, beat Washington this time, then go on to be a college football playoff team, and then go to the Big Ten, regardless of what you do in the playoff, do you really think it's lost on Dan Lanning that his paycheck is about to go up at Oregon, a place where he's already got his program set up? He's not going anywhere.
And I think this is what I struggle with the names that Pete Thamel put out today. God bless you, Pete. Why is Lane Train going to leave the SIP? Again, Dan Lanning. I look at Mike Norvell at Florida State. Why would Mike Norvell leave Florida State to go to Texas A&M? I have no idea. What sense does that make? Mike Norvell is sitting, again, in a college football playoff spot, making a ton of money. Why would he leave that to go to a place where you're not likely anytime soon to get to the college football playoff? I look at somebody like Kalen DeBoer. Again, you're in a college football playoff spot with a Heisman Trophy candidate at quarterback. Why am I leaving Washington? We're going to the Big Ten. My program's going to make $100 million a year. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. That makes no sense. Mike Elko, okay. But is Mike Elko the guy that Texas A&M needs right now? That doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. Jeff Traylor, does that move any needles? And Jeff's obviously a legendary high school coach. Does that move any needles? I just can't see it. I just cannot see it. That's the issue that I have.
Well, and the challenge for A&M is that they can't have a question mark hire. I mean, you can't go and get after in my opinion, being publicly humiliated on some level with this Jimbo buyout.
No. The Jimbo hire, who you bid against yourself. LSU was never paying that money.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got humiliated with Jimbo's buyout and reminded that you played yourself, playa.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a great point. You played yourself, dude.
Yeah.
Cleveland rocks. Browns looking great. The defense is super. They are. We'll talk about that coming up in 31 minutes on the Monty Show, presented by our good friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. Hit them on Venmo, you guys. They are trying to be heroes of hope this Thanksgiving season. They are partnered with Heroes of Hope. It's a great organization. They are really trying to help families that don't have the resources that all of us have to have great Thanksgivings, and let alone food, people, warmth. Help give somebody a holiday season that they wouldn't normally be able to have. I think that is such a noble cause. And I'm not talking about $100,000. I'm talking about $1, $5, $25. There is their Venmo, Advocates Donations. Advocates Donations on Venmo. Send them $1, $5, say hero for Thanksgiving. And if you want to be a saint and a blessing amongst men, the Monty Show Thanksgiving. That's all you got to say. Send them $5, send them $1, send them $100. Whatever's in your pocket and your heart. Let's hook some people up for Thanksgiving. We've raised over $500 on the show already. Let's keep that going. This week, let's raise at least $1,000. Can we do that? Let's raise at least $1,000 for the Advocates and Heroes of Hope. Let's give people who are less fortunate than we are the ability to have a Thanksgiving, the ability to have a meal on the table for their kids. Let's do that on Venmo. Advocates donations. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Let's see. Brian Laguerre says it's program, not program.
No, sir, it's not.
It's showgram. It's showgram, not showgram.
Program.
Dabo Sweeney's a good man.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
He's not a good man. Matt Ritson, big day at ASU. Ray Anderson, the 10-year death spiral in Tempe is over.
I knew today would be shitty.
And thank you, Kenny. Today was a good day. Ray Anderson, for those of you who don't know, the athletic director at Arizona State. This is the same guy who said that Arizona State athletics was fine not winning, that we are a middle-of-the-table team. He called Arizona State football at the top of the mountain. We're a top 15 team. He oversaw a not stadium renovation for the basketball team. This is a guy who doesn't believe in NIL. Straight up has said he doesn't believe in NIL. Ray Anderson is a terrible athletic administrator. He oversaw the wretched Herm Edwards era that is crippling Arizona State football, where recruiting violation after recruiting violation was committed, allegedly, because their findings are not final, by Herm Edwards, Antonio Pierce, and the rest of that staff. And Ray Anderson survived it. Or maybe he didn't, because he resigned today after 10 years on the job, and a black eye in the Pac-12 has been removed. Unfortunately, the Pac-12 has been removed as well, and now Arizona State heads to the Big 12. But if you are a Sun Devil today, Sun Devil Nation forks up. Today is a very good day for you, because Ray Anderson, on his best day, was an embarrassment to the Pac-12, and certainly an embarrassment and a black eye on the face of Sun Devil athletics. And today that's over. And who knows who they'll be able to get, because without a doubt, Kenny Dillingham is a better man than you are for taking that job at Arizona State. And the day that he dropped that infamous bomb about what he knew today was going to be,
I knew today would be shitty,
was the day he found out that Arizona State was going to self-impose a bowl ban. And I believe that's the day that Ray Anderson's fate at Arizona State was sealed, and you started taking steps forward. Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State football are going to be fine wherever Ray Anderson goes. And by all accounts, he's going to stay and be a professor. There is a black cloud that smells like ass hanging around Ray Anderson. And it's the stench of one of the worst athletic directors we have ever seen in the history of college sports. And finally, in the desert, thanks to a $240 million misplaced decimal point.
No redos.
Arizona State seems to be in a better place than Arizona.
And how has one said, hey, Brett Yormark, any thoughts on these two incoming schools in Arizona? Because I got news for you. I don't trust Michael Crow as far as I can throw Buddy to make a good hire. I don't want any of this crap about, innovative hire, or, dude, we're doing something no one's ever seen. I'm sorry, are you talking about that ridiculous Apple TV deal, or are you talking about hiring a candidate? Because I can't tell the difference anymore, Mike. Like, I don't know why we've always got to try and reinvent the wheel here, dude. A&M's position is open. Now your position is open. You've got a young gun head coach who's working his ass off in this program right now. And at some point, you got to give him something to work with at the athletic director level.
Don't you, though?
My God.
Hallabilly, a member for 7 months. Coaching carousel is going to be interesting this year. Too bad West Virginia won't be involved if they win out. Dude, how many of us were wrong about West Virginia and Iowa State for that?
Yeah,
matter?
Where's my boy Neil Brown needs fired?
They're bowl eligible, friends. I don't know what you say about West Virginia. Do you fire Neil Brown?
No, you can't.
No, I don't think you can.
The suffering will continue.
Sorry, Garrett Green. I mean, you're not doing it.
And next year, I don't think you'll be bowl eligible, honest to God, because the league gets much better next year.
Much better.
But this year, give the guy credit. And I'm no Neil Brown supporter. Give the guy credit. He got the job done.
Yep, I agree. Jim Tussing.
Hey, Jim.
Oh, toss this. Michigan gets to win their 1,000th. Michigan gets to win their 1,000th program win this weekend. And then after making up for coming vacated wins, they can do it all over again.
Program.
See what he did there?
It is. I don't know. I'm sorry. The thing that just keeps coming to mind is Michigan deserves better than Jim Harbaugh. And I don't understand what Michigan fan is fighting for.
It surprises me that this has been Michigan fans' instant reaction.
Because this comment is amazing.
Yeah.
They're going to win their 1,000th game, allegedly.
That'd be America's team.
And you're going to wind up vacating. And I still think the Blake Corum thing could be a bigger story, but who knows? But every game that Jim Harbaugh coaches, you're in jeopardy. And he has not been instrumental in your process on game day.
Nick Saban is a better man than you are.
Right? He's not. Jim Harbaugh, if this suspension holds, will miss 6 games this season.
Boom. Out of here.
Let that sink in, bros. 12 games, half of them you won't have your head coach, and you're likely going undefeated.
Because it's illegal.
How important is the head coach? I don't know. Because you're winning games without him. He's not been suspended once this year. The motherfucker, he's been suspended twice this year, dude.
Cheating, lying, and then playing the victim.
Did you guys see that AI deepfake? Jake didn't want to play it on the show today because I think he's an idiot. Anyway,
My bad.
My point is I wanted to play the AI deepfake, and Jake was like, no, we shouldn't do it.
Doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than that.
People think it's real, bro. And Michigan fans are going through enough.
So-called experts.
They're emotional, dude. If we're putting up AI deepfakes of Jim Harbaugh
Via social media.
That's the only way we should do it, is via social media.
Via social media.
Okay? Let's have some compassion for the Michigan fans. The Wolverines, they got their claws clipped a little bit here. Can't even scratch their own backs.
My fucking ass.
So there's an AI deepfake of Jim Harbaugh that is unbelievable.
Cheating, lying, and then playing the victim.
Which one is the deepfake? Listen to this voice, and you guys tell me which one is real Jim Harbaugh.
Just a stalwartness.
Cheating, lying, and then playing the victim.
Because I don't think it's easy to tell the difference.
Obviously, where he says stalwart is the AI.
Just a stalwartness.
No,
That's clear.
It's not.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure.
So
It's got to be America's team.
that's Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
Just
And
a stalwartness.
that's Jim Harbaugh.
So-called experts.
That's Tom Mars.
Cheating, lying, and then playing the victim. Doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than that.
That's the kind of program we want.
Via social media.
So it's on my Twitter feed, The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show. It is unbelievable. Jake, and I don't disagree with you. I think it is. The AI deepfakes now, you guys, are amazing.
They are getting too good.
Oh, Car Wash Channel. So Michigan going to the Big 12 or the SEC. And I think we should, honestly, this is, speaking of AI deepfakes, Michigan has not explored leaving the conference. They have not. And anybody that tells you they have, beyond bloviating,
So-called experts.
it's all on the table. Okay, that's cool. These nuts are on the table too. I'm not leaving. Right? Right. They're not leaving the Big Ten. Stop it.
Pack everything up. We're out of here.
Wolverine.com locked on your mom. Like, it's told me
Locked on Ann Arbor, man.
that we're going to the truck stop conference. They even said that, listen, And
we were saying that.
Yeah, fast pass, and stuff in you put the little toll pass because you got to go through all the truck stops.
Yeah.
TA truck stops got some great pretzels. No, I'm not flying. I'm driving, bro. They're not going to the Big 12. Do you? And you guys, I have a lot of respect for the Big 12. Would you rather be in the Big 12 or the Big 10?
It's the Big 12!
Yeah, I'd rather be in the Big 10 too. Give me the $115 million. Because if Michigan is to go from the Big 10 to the Big 12, they're leaving $115 million on the table.
I've been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich every fucking time.
But if I go to the Big 12, one, again, we get Maverick truck stops. That's just number one. But number two, I get due process. Now, I might not have $115 million, and we're going to be a poverty program, but I get due process, and I get the honey mustard pretzels.
Doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than that.
Feel me? You know what I'm saying, bro? Look at this.
It's got to be America's team.
Look at this winged hat. Truck stop, bitches. They're not leaving the Big 10. Stop it.
Yeah, we're not making any changes.
Stop it. Stop it. NFL coming up in 19 minutes on the Monty Show.
Hey, Monty.
Utah going 12-0 next year. I meant to Utah going 12-0 in the Big 12 football next year.
Okay, is a hell of a drug.
Do you walk through the car wash on the car wash channel?
Hey, bro, was it that paint wax that you were sniffing that told you that they were going 12-0?
The Big 12 is going to be Murderers Row next year. Eric Wasikowski.
Hey, Wasikowski and stuff.
My Polish brethren. The same people who support Harbaugh are the same ones who support Dementia Joe.
So-called experts.
The Fighting Paternos.
Yeah.
Joe Paterno. He's a
Never.
little crazy with those Coke bottles at the end. Didn't have pants long enough.
Damn.
Pretty funny. Where did Harbaugh get his khakis? From dead Joe Paterno.
Hugh Janus.
Probably shouldn't. He's dead.
Good talk.
I mean,
cool.
he's dead.
Cool, man. Cool. Cool.
Probably
Cool, man. Cool.
Ain't no reset.
Let's see. Cody Schiffman. Sure, yeah, UM could come to the Big 12. They can't get by TCU. Listen. We didn't want to be too obvious that Connor Stallions was up in Tarrant County.
Fine Steeler guy.
So we were willing to lose that game because we knew J.J. McCarthy was a better quarterback than you are. Okay? So we knew this year we would be better. Okay?
Schemers trying to control their little worlds.
We saw that C.J. Stroud's bobbleheads were out of all. They were out of all of the TA truck stops across the country because he's in the NFL now.
Dick Allen's bobble figurine.
And stuff. So what we knew was if we lead to the truck stop conference, we can still go to Houston.
We're in a control position.
And put the screws to CJ Stroud. Throw them.
Ain't ducking, no smoke.
We can put the screws to CJ.
Oh my God, dude.
When we get Dana Holgerson fired at Houstonian. While they're wearing the Tennessee Oilers uniforms. And
They really hit me.
We'll still have on the blue, yellow, and the winged helmet and shit. They'll wear the Tennessee Oilers uniform. We're going to go Michigan over here, okay?
Got to be America's team.
Bro.
Oh, I don't know. TCU. Look, I mean, does a horned frog really stand a chance against the Wolverines? And look at these claws. Like, delicious.
Bro, I'm getting members who are upset that you didn't read their 10-month comment that they paid for, apparently.
Breaking news, A&M just hired Holden Hiscock as the new... Wow.
Hiscock.
Is that true? You got... Oh, my God. And we have...
Exclusive
you guys,
video of the hiring.
Wow. This is... in all honesty, this is exclusive video of the process inside.
The due process.
Thank you.
Due process, sir.
There's dew on the grass. That's a process at Texas A&M. Here's how they're hiring their coach, Holden Anita's Dick.
Waves in opposition. Anita Dick is an opponent. Waves in opposition. Holden Hiscock is also an opponent.
Holden Hiscock, the new head coach.
Anita Dick.
Of these Aggies. Holden Hiscock.
Holden Middick.
Apparently we're being told we missed some. Let's see.
And it's not we specifically, it's you.
Oh,
me. He says that you're intentionally skipping his comment.
Oh, fuck off.
Dude, you're circumventing due process here.
You guys
relax.
And
hey, look here, man.
Just because I always get this guy, bro, it's personal. You're not reading my comment. Why won't you read my comment anymore, Mike?
Via social media.
Well, one, pay your debt.
Yeah.
Pay your debt. James, you owe us 4X gold.
Do it.
Number two, we have had almost 4,000 comments on the show today.
Yeah.
I said 4,000 comments. Let's see. Yelling capital letters guy. Here's one I missed for $2. Michael Jarrett. He obviously, what happened against TCU Stallions? Exactly.
You know.
Oh, here's James. For 10 months. Well, here we go. 10 months of mocking me and ignoring my pleas for NBA.
Oh, got it.
And yet you still haven't paid your debt.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that shit need to be fired.
Pay your damn debt, dude.
Come on, man.
I want a keg.
James is always poking the bear. Can't just be normal. Can't just be you're
Just
always
stalwartness.
And again, if you're not going to pay your debt, just explain to me how, because James said I don't know OKC Thunder basketball. When I told him Chet Holmgren 2 weeks ago, I said this, and he lost his shit in the members only group. I told you Chet Holmgren is impacting Josh Giddey's.
That's what fucking ticks me.
You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Boss Frog's your boy. Slurp Boss Frog some more. Treat me like crap. Anybody who doesn't say anything nice to you, you just treat him like crap. Nice 10-point performance last night by Josh
Slick.
Slick.
Oh, shit. Damn, I am tripping.
Wasikowski. Sorry, boys. Working for a living. Missed a week. Joe, as in dementia. You meant Joe Paterno, right? Because you know we don't do politics on this show.
Hiscock.
You know what I'm saying? It is amazing to me how many people are like, dude, I can't believe you didn't read my comment.
Yeah, it's a personal attack, man.
What did I ever do to you?
Nobody said boo.
Lance Johnson, TRO against Monty until he announces member anniversaries. I missed one. 71 paid comments today. 71 paid comments.
I want my comment read.
I don't know what I ever did to you. Is it because my wife's hotter than yours?
I don't really understand what you're saying.
I don't understand it. Why do you hate my team, Monty? Is that why you won't read my comment?
Yeah, we're not making any changes.
It doesn't matter. I breathe through my mouth. You should read my comments anyway.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
Losing your absolute mind. Oh, let me just see. Oh, where's James Knight's comment?
Do you know what that's like these days?
All right, delete.
That's every day.
Who's got time to skip comments, man?
Yeah.
And why would I do that? Tanner Plummer, in other words, Chev is turning Josh Middy into Josh Liddy. Josh Liddy, that sounds dumb. All right, Lewis Litt running the 3 spot for OKC.
Yeah.
Matt Riley, I can't believe you missed one. Terrible person.
Yeah,
the
dude,
worst.
Absolute joke, dude.
The worst.
It's only called the Monty program.
Just amazing. I'm just not
better, dude.
the brightest. And
Yeah.
Jack Harrington, boo-hoo, Monty. They are mad. Yeah, I know. Right? 4,000 comments today. And I'm
for real.
Ron Nolan, don't interrupt Monty while he's bloviating. He will explode. He will explode on his own. Boss Frog, I can't hit up the advocates on Venmo thanks to Alfonso Tuputala. What do you mean you can't?
Who the fuck is that guy?
What are you talking about?
Who the hell is Alfonso who?
Who the?
Tuputala?
Who the fuck are you?
Oh, we lost the bet.
What?
Oh.
Wait, what happened now?
We lost the bet.
What bet did we make?
What do you mean?
What was our position? Who did we say would cover that didn't?
I don't remember.
Boss Frog, can you refresh us, please, sir?
Yeah, I don't.
Hey, look here, man.
Hang on. Let me look it up. There it is right there. Washington. It was Utah and Washington. Now I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Now I remember.
Uh-huh.
I warned you guys about this game, and everybody told me I was stupid. Right? Did I? And please let me know this here on the Monty program. I warned you guys about this game. Right? Did I not tell you? Where is it? There it is. 35-28. Right? And the line on that game, I believe, was Washington 9.5. Right? And
Damn.
I think Boss Frog brought it down to 9.
He did. I remember this now. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
And wait, but I thought you were on Utah's side of this. Didn't you say that Utah would cover on this? I swore you said Utah would cover the 9. And I was like, no, they're not. Washington's going to boat race them, and they didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
So what do you mean, sir?
Boss, you have to help me. Salty Drunk, I want an apology. I didn't say you missed it deliberately. Well, you said it last time, so I mean,
he's all pissed off now. Yeah, he's pissed.
Are you being serious? You're really upset. Dude.
He didn't. Okay, public apology. All right, Jim Harbaugh press conference time. My bad. Hey, can you look in there and see?
Welcome to the Monty Show daycare
Can you look in there
program.
and see if you still have the Jim Harbaugh not accurate clip that I put in there last week?
Jim, there was a report last night that you had a contract offer rescinded. Can you say if that's accurate or not?
I wouldn't say that's accurate. No.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say that it's accurate that I said that you were upset with Monty because he intentionally skipped your comment. He didn't intentionally do anything. You didn't, make some sort of inference that that's what was happening.
And
don't get all upset, dude.
The funny thing is,
don't get upset.
The funny thing is, James, you're never happy. James, I enjoy talking hoop with you, and
you've been doing great.
But James is that guy in our member group who's like, I want more NBA. This show was founded on NBA. We never talk NBA. I'm a non-believer. And it's like, dude, in North America, football is king.
Yeah.
It has always been king. It's always going to be king.
So just to be clear,
on Mondays during the season, we don't talk NBA.
James, I wasn't seriously saying that you were accusing Monty of intentionally skipping your comment. I was busting your balls, okay? So I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Boss Frog. Whoa. That was a lot of comment dump right there.
See, so I read your comment. I apologize. We're moving on.
No, I said they would cover the 9. That would have put Washington up by 12.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I warned you guys about that game. Felt better about it, but Jesse Davin says, I didn't ask for an apology. I'm just saying, no, I said she was an AI deepfake.
Who are you, Jim Harbaugh?
Let's rewind the tape. Wow. Listen, there's no way that's the correct picture of you.
Cheating, lying, and then playing the victim.
There's no way.
Via social media.
Flash word. I'm totally wrong. This
Sign
is
stealer guy.
Jesse's real picture. Jesse, I appreciate you. I am thankful that you are here.
Don't lie to me.
Thank you for being real. OG Gary, that's America. That's America's, Jake.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I apologized. James, I'm sorry, dude. We're sorry.
Terrible people.
I'm an awful human being.
Awful. Doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than that.
I'm the
terrible
asshole here, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry. My bad,
I could have told you that.
My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, taking credit for my, an awesome 50 degree yesterday when you missed it completely.
Yeah, I'm not
and I
talking
put
about
mine
that.
within 5 feet of the hole for birdie and then missed the putt. I at least put my 50 degree within 5 feet of the hole. Some people, no.
Are we clear on that?
No. Oh, let me hit a 50-yard slice and get a better roll than you.
Well, that's what I do.
It is, totally. Salty wants the due process he deserves. Just saying. Boyd Lake.
So on point, bro.
Utah has played well this year. Too bad they had a few players out.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Salty, I'm reading your Salty Drunk commented and said, disrespect me when I deserve it. All good.
Hey, guys.
Boss Frog.
All you do is read Boss Frog's comment.
And the Advocates would have received $250 in a donation.
This man was a bona fide scrub.
Be better, dude.
Tanner Plummer, I would personally like an apology.
Yeah, you're not getting one, dude.
Yeah.
You're not getting one, bro.
And Tanner lost his mind as well. So that's why we're not allowed to do the Tanner voice anymore.
Even
because
though we do it every day.
It's not called the Tanner voice anymore.
It's called the Monty voice.
But he just, look, man, he doesn't allow us to do the Tanner voice.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
So, Land Thieves, too much salty. Read mine. Exactly. God damn it.
Never.
Luis Capazzo, someone send Salty some blue cheese so he can drown in his sorrows.
Damn.
But no one's going to disrespect me. I'm not afraid to die. When I die, I'm going to paradise.
OG Gary, LOL, Tanner, exactly. Salty Drunk. I'm reading Salty Drunk's comment.
That's right, T.
It is time for a salty drunk comment right now on the Monty Show.
Salty Drunk. Mate,
I love you, bro.
Mate, to be fair,
I love you.
I have integrated and chilled.
Down in Australia, we don't have Netflix. We call it integrated and chilled.
Okay, fuck you. How's that?
Which is different than soaking and earthquaking.
Okay.
Dude, Salty. See, this is the effect you have. This is some of the best laughs I've had in so long, dude.
Tanner says, wait, this show was founded on NBA. I thought it was founded on NIL. See what he did there? See what he did there?
Okay.
We built this program on NIL.
Okay, Tanner. I like that.
Boyd Lake, if someone calls you a deep fake, that's a compliment. Exactly.
Wish this was you.
Gonzalez, Salty. Hang in there and you'll eventually see that we talk football like other countries talk soccer. Exactly.
Right.
OG Gary, I mean, I said it was going to be close. Utah was going to cover. Washington, as of late, have been fraudulent. Yeah. I want Oregon and Washington in the conference championship.
Yeah, we all deserve that as football fans, though.
See what it turns in. I'm sorry.
It's Salty Drunk. It's time for a Salty Drunk comment. Right now on the Monty program. Salty Drunk, your comment is coming up.
See what it turns into ongoing BS. Just because you put LOL at the end doesn't mean you're not a red ass. At least that's it's not, dude, if you can't laugh and have a good time with it, we don't know each other, Salty. It's not personal.
No, I guess not.
It's laughing. Now I'm always smiling.
I personally would like an apology.
It's time for a Salty Drunk meltdown.
I didn't sleep for the past 2 nights because of this. I was that upset.
Monty's an asshole.
Oh, sure. Of course I understand why people are upset. Venom and vitriol.
Oh. Jesse says, I love y'all. Love you. I wish this was you. Eric Wasikowski. How's that Caleb Williams drag stop looking for Chicago? Did you guys see Cowherd last week?
Who?
Colin.
Hey, Cowturd.
Colin Cowherd.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going through dementia or what.
It really hit me.
He continues to say stuff that's just simply not true. He's like, oh, the Bears beating the Carolina Panthers on Thursday Night Football absolutely ended any shot they had at the number 1 pick. And then he does his typical, what say you? And it's like,
well, actually, Cowturd, this is what I have to say.
And then Jason McGuire, whatever the guy on his show's name is, it's like, well, actually, Colin, there's a graphic up on the screen that shows you them beating Carolina almost assured them of the number 1 pick. And Colin's like, okay, moving on.
If you ain't first, you're last.
And he does it routinely.
All the time, bro.
Routinely.
He's almost as consistent at that as Skip is at hating on LeBron, dude.
Jack Harrington. Connor Stallions told me this show was founded on NIL, Monty. No, it was
Sign stealer guy.
First of all,
it's
refer
sign
to
stealer
Buddy
guy.
the right way, please.
Sign stealer guy.
And second of all, this show was founded on refurbished Amazon profits. So yeah, relax.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think that thing with Blake Corum, Balake, could be a real
Vacuums
problem.
are my thing.
Yeah, that could be a real problem.
Balake,
forever Balake. Poor little guy. James.
Whoa, dude, are you okay, bro? It's 5 o'clock already, and this is your first comment of the day.
We need like funeral music on the show.
Okay, I'll work on that tomorrow.
Ollie Gordon is dead. Ollie Gordon was a good man until he sucked out loud and
Don't lie to me.
And cost Oak State everything they had coming. So, James, you're going to be in New York for the Heisman to see Ollie win it?
Waves in opposition.
Monty is just looking for witty comments like how Charles Barkley commented on Oak State's performance. He said they were terrible.
These people going to heaven.
What about Ollie Gordon and his 25 yards, dude? What about, it's Ollie Gordon.
Yeah, can we talk about this, bro?
Are
you going to take accountability better than Jim does? Because I need some accountability on Ollie Gordon, dude.
Daniel Dixon throwing in the red flag. Time to move on. Salty drunk. All good, Jake. I was trying to lay low, but now I've turned into the troublemaker guy.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
Again. James Knight going through the 7 cycles of trauma.
Oh, shit. Damn, I am tripping.
Right? Don't you go through like when you have
James, listen, bro. You gotta
loss?
understand something here, dude. You got to understand. You got to know your role. Tanner knows he's the whipping boy on the show.
Was
what my
we're not
dad,
allowed
sorry,
to anymore.
Donovan McNabb.
Hall of Famer, greatest quarterback ever, bro.
Not a Hall of Famer. Hey, dude, he's a Hall of Famer, okay?
Hey, man, what player hasn't thrown up in his face mask?
Ugh, dude, I'm good. Nope, I'm good.
Pass
on that
Boss Frog still hit 50% of my bets, but still owe the book. Time to pay the piper. You still owe them. You won 50. Ooh. That hurt. See, I'm here for you, Boss Frog.
Hey, boss. Can we up the billable hours by about 20%?
You got to find some people out of compliance, sir.
Yeah,
Fucking Cole Beasley.
You can't get right tonight on the NFL. I think this is an easy bet tonight. Yeah. Lance Johnson, 5-foot putt. I'm seriously doubting Monty's handicap. I'm an 8 handicap. And I switched back to my old putter. It didn't help. It's not the putter.
Yeah.
But actually,
you putted better with the Scotty, though, dude.
I think I had 7, 8 birdie putts.
Yeah.
And I think I probably made half of them.
Yeah.
The one I missed was never even in the vicinity.
Yeah.
But on the back 9, I had 3, 4 that I knocked from like the 7th to the 11th or 12th. I actually played really well. Had a really good sand, dude. I had a sand
save shot was incredible.
I had a sand save, and it was not a difficult putt, and I missed it.
So the bunker that he hits this ball into is at the front of the green, and the pin on this particular hole is at the back of the green. My guy flies this thing probably 40 feet, lands it probably 10 feet past the pin, spins it right back, no problem, 5 feet away. Yeah, no, can't make it. Can't make it.
Yeah.
Jack Harlow, love this show. Thank you. Aaron Wilson, hello.
Hello, Aaron.
Tanner Plummer. LOL. Yeah, we all know Jake is a terrible person. First, it was him destroying the national parks. Now he's tearing into Salty's character.
It's really despicable.
Seriously.
It's ridiculous.
Tanner, relax, bro. Bro, you have turned in tough guy. You're the nerd of the program. Well,
here we go.
James is on brand.
James.
I'm having a shitty day. Who are we going to attack now? Oh, look, there's Tanner Plummer. Let's do this.
I'll drop that motherfucker.
Not true. I never said you couldn't do the Tanner voice. You did. You
went through a James Knight style time
where you threw
were
yourself
all pissed off
on the floor of the front runner.
Yeah.
The train here in Utah.
Yeah.
Tanner threw himself on the floor in the fetal position screaming. Kind of an indicator.
I hope it won't come to that.
Tanner is an Eagles fan. There will be no apologies until he apologizes for that.
Well,
Jack Harrington. Jim Harbaugh will be played by Bradley Cooper in the Michigan movie because it's coming. It's coming.
What are you, Dion?
Boyd Lake. Did you give Tanner Plummer the little baby K treatment? No, I did not. Jesse, send Salty to a 12-step program.
Dude, chill, dude.
Wow.
Unbelievers.
Jack Harrington, read my comments, damn it. Read my comments, damn it. What? The Christie, the Monty and Salty show.
Well, it's nice knowing you, dude.
You know. Let's see, who else? Lee Jensen, a member for 10 months.
Okay, Lee.
No, Lee, my comments get read at the same percentage as Josh Mitty's field goals.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Okay, way to pop in here, dude.
It's personal to me. That makes it personal. You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
Okay.
Love you.
Has
dude.
James apologized? No, this James, not James Knight. This James.
I will own it when my team is bad. Oak State was bad, but in Gundy's defense.
Here we go.
The Monstars stole the Cowboys' talent. Okay.
I don't break the rules.
Okay. Salty Drunk, I don't ever see you mocking Cash Cow boss Monty. Well, because he's actually, no, I'm not.
Don't play his games, dude.
Okay. Yeah.
Via social media.
Boss Frog. Ooh, I drive an EV.
Idiot.
It's about as, I don't know much. How am I going to mock him? I don't know shit about the guy.
Yeah. The only thing I can ever mock Boss about is the fact that he drives an electric Porsche when Porsche makes some of the best motors in the world. So if you're going to pay 100 G's for a car, maybe get a real Porsche, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that.
Boyd Lake, Cowherd just talks out his butt until people get pissed, until he confirms people are listening, so he can then do some research to try to sound smart. That's his shtick.
You know what the real issue though for me, dude, is that when Cowturd was doing good shows, he actually filled a gap in the programming talk sports, window in the day. And,
totally agree.
And it's frustrating that you can go ahead and put him in the Skip Bayless nonsense category as one I don't watch anymore. And that sucks.
Yeah, it's tough because there's just no way to, you just can't take him seriously.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's terrible.
There's no way to do it. I mean, there really isn't. And it's really frustrating that it gets to that. And there's just no reason to get to that, in my opinion. Like I just don't know why you would. BuckedUp.com presents hour number 3 of the Monty Show. Wow. Super stoked. Their creatine monohydrate at BuckedUp.com is just $22.99. And tomorrow, you guys, if you're a member of our Instagram members only group, you already know this. Tomorrow is 50% off day at BuckedUp.com. Black Friday. You have to have a link. And hey, listen, if you'd like a link, I am happy to give it to you. You have to register ahead of time. We get that, right? Like you have to register ahead of time. Salty, I'm going to say it again. You have to register ahead of time.
And I don't want to hear any nonsense about, you guys don't give us anything for folks outside of Utah.
Well, here's the Bucked Up sale. And I'm telling you right now that it is easily the best sale I think that I have ever seen at Bucked Up. And it's remarkable. And you need to register for it. You need to register, as I'm looking for the link now to give to you guys. But if you guys don't know BuckedUp.com, the best supplements in the business. If you guys are workout people, if you're a pre-workout person, their pre-workouts are absolutely the best in the business. And I would encourage you guys, and I don't know how many other ways I can say it. I would encourage you guys to get to BuckedUp.com. Use the promo code Monty to save 20% off your purchase. In the description below, there's a link to get 6 free buckshots. It is one of those things that is incredibly important that you guys get registered ahead of time. I'll put it in the chat once I find it, which I'm not promising you that I will, because it was right here. I saved it, and now I can't find it. But you have to absolutely, you guys, get in on this because it's 50% all of their stuff. So hook it up, BuckedUp.com. Use the promo code Monty to save 20% off at checkout. Let's switch gears, talk a little NFL, because I think there is a significant issue in the NFL with quality quarterback play. Jake, does the NFL have a quarterback problem?
Yeah, it's going around the league right now. People are starting to take notice that, there's a lot more close games happening. We're in a situation where scoring is way down. We're playing 10-6 games. We're playing, 17-14 games. We're not really playing, 38-31 anymore, 38-35. Like, there are much fewer prolific offenses than there once were. And I look around the league and you've got all these situations where, whether it's the Jets, the Patriots, you look at Will Levis in Tennessee, a lot of people questioning Brock Purdy in San Francisco. Like, there are a lot of these situations where people are questioning the quality of the quarterback. And hey, is this anemic offense on the quarterback, or is it on the offensive line, or is it a coordinator thing? Or like in San Diego, you've got a stud of a quarterback, but is it the head coach, or is it the all these sort of situations where we're trying to find reasons why the offense isn't producing. And it seems like the reasons are different for every one of these situations. But what they all share is that there's not enough quarterback talent in the NFL right now. And the problem is that with the way the NFL schedule works on a weekly basis, the starter's going to get all the reps during the week. So your backups, the guys who need the reps and need the development to get better, are not seeing those first team reps. You're not getting the lion's share of the practice. And so what we have is, hey, the starter is getting all the reps. They're developing. They're continuing to sharpen their game. But these other guys are sitting on the bench waiting for their opportunity. And so the league is suffering. Scoring is way down, like I was saying. So I absolutely think the NFL has a quarterback problem. And I absolutely think guys like Bill Belichick are going to pay the price for it after the season, because these offenses cannot continue to be anemic. Like with the Jets, why are you still hanging out with Zach Wilson? Why have we not seen another option? Why are we so married to a guy who clearly just isn't ready? That's a question. In Patriot land, Mac Jones, hey, he was halfway decent his rookie year, but he hasn't been the same guy since. Is that a coordinator issue, or is that a Mac Jones issue? So that's what I'm saying. You look around the NFL and there are a ton of situations that I'm not sure are repairable in their current setup. Either the coordinator or the head coach needs to change, or the quarterback needs to just move his ass along. And that's why I say I think the quarterback has, or the NFL has, a big time quarterback problem.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think when you look at it's the quality of play. That's the problem that I have. And I think you look at some of the numbers, and certainly when you look at guys like, Patrick Mahomes, you're not talking about quality play. I'm talking about the depth. I think the Mac Jones meltdown on the sideline yesterday was exactly what we're talking about. And if you look at the worst teams in the NFL right now, the Denver Broncos have one of the lowest performing quarterbacks in Russell Wilson. You look at the Tennessee Titans. They don't have a quarterback, whether it's Levis or Tannehill. The Indianapolis Colts, rookie quarterback, out for the year, already down. The list is endless, right? You look at the Cincinnati Bengals on the flip side of that. Joe Burrow out, not the same guy, struggled at the beginning of the year. And now all of a sudden, you look at the fact that Cincinnati somehow, some way yesterday lost to the Texans. Oh, wait, how'd they lose to the Texans? C.J. Stroud is an MVP candidate in the National Football League.
And it sounds outrageous initially, but he's got just as good a numbers as anybody else in the league.
He's an MVP candidate.
There's no question about it. And I feel odd saying this, but I almost feel like with the way the conversation was happening during the draft this year, see, a lot of people were like, oh, this guy can't pass mental fortitude tests and can't do all this pre-draft crap that all these prospects have to go through. And CJ Stroud is just sitting out here saying, I'm not a test taker. I'm a football player. I play football. And now what has he done? He's backed it up. And by the way, I'd like to point out all the great organizations in the league. What do they have in common? Two things. Your head coach and your quarterback are on the same page, both contractually and in the day-to-day.
Yes.
And then additionally, your organization spends money to support those two guys. So CJ Stroud's just coming in here on his rookie deal and performing. And I have to say, I think he's the steal of the draft, because I thought Bryce Young would be a hell of a lot better than he's been, and he's not been very good. Injuries aside, when he's had his chance, he's been nowhere near what CJ's been.
before that game, Cincinnati won 5 of 6. And it was because Joe Burrow was back to being Joe Burrow. So I absolutely think we are struggling through one of the worst quarterback runs that we have ever seen in the NFL. And I don't know how you fix it, because the other thing that not a lot of people are talking about, participation among youth football leagues is as low as it's ever been. And so at what point does Zach Wilson become the norm? And at what point does Joe Burrow become the oddity? Does, you look at the CJ Strouds, you look at the, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, is Josh Allen an elite quarterback? Not right now, he's not. But is Justin Herbert? Yeah, I think I'd rather have Justin Herbert. And he's doing it with no offensive line and no running back talent to speak of. But Keenan Allen's playing out of his mind right now. You look at the Chicago Bears, you look at Josh Dobbs in Minnesota. I mean, it's just an odd year, in my opinion. All right, let's see. Ryan Willie for $5. Fox must be worried about the scandal. All the talking heads are crying foul. Everybody at Fox, I would agree with that. Not everybody. Most of the on-air talent at Fox has said that the suspension is unjust. Yet ESPN's all over it.
Mm-hmm.
So who's got their stake in the Big Ten? Yeah, that'd be Fox and not ESPN. I think it's an interesting point. Connor's HOA president is the newest member.
I've been waiting for.
That's amazing.
I've been waiting for account names like Connor Stallion's Burner or Connor Stallion Sign Stealing Network. Like these crazy ass Connor Stallion's names. Finally, we get one. Finally. Welcome.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that you guys are so amazing, and I appreciate that. Let's see. Drake Stoops to the Houston Texans. Drake Stoops is going to be a really good slot receiver, I think.
Yeah, maybe he could learn how to run a proper out route.
Troy Harper, CJ Stroud showing Ohio love after the game. Yeah, he did with the he did, and he balled out. Connor's HOA prez. Mike, I only hate refurbished vacuums. Exactly right.
Dude, please live up to it. I appreciate you so much, man.
Elaine Tran, CJ Stroud, Rookie of the Year and MVP. I think he's a legitimate MVP candidate. He is. I mean,
he's got the Rookie of the Year on lock, right? We all agree on that.
Who else would it even be?
I don't even know that there's another candidate.
James says the only QB problem is the team's drafting the flashy guy when Brock Purdy is playing well and he was drafted 4 rounds too late. Well, I think the jury's out on Brock Purdy. I'll be honest with you. I look at that San Francisco defense. Joey Bosa and Chase Young. Mrs. Monty and I were watching that game yesterday. Those guys were wrecking humanity.
I'm for real.
Chase Young looks fired up to be back with the Ohio State teammate. And I think it's remarkable.
Well, I mean, think about the opportunity that Chase has been given here. I mean, the first time in dude's career that he's actually playing for something.
And he looks healthy and he looks viable and he's a dog, dude. Yeah. He is absolutely, I agree with that 100%. Boyd Lake, the SEO king of America. It's hard to play quarterback at any level. When a new QB hits the scene, many times he will be great for a year and then DCs have to keep enough tape to take away their strengths. Then they have to develop. It's tough to watch Zach Wilson right now.
Yeah.
He is the reason they lost another game. I don't even know how you argue that. And I'm not saying he was terrible, but again, what did he do? Games on the line? Yeah, throw an interception. Games on the line? Pat the football in the pocket. What could go wrong? Like he's just not that guy. Mike Smith, sometimes when you have simplified offenses in college, it hurts that young QB's development. Absolutely right.
Absolutely.
Capazo. Zachy Wilson is legit. If the Jets could get him an offensive line worth a damn, we'll never know because they're not going to do that.
You wouldn't be here if you had an offensive line worth a damn. But yet again, what did I just say?
Yeah.
You're going to go out and get a Lamborghini and then you're not going to put gas in it. So
totally
what does he
agree.
do? Tears his Achilles,
Totally
allegedly.
agree. Yeah. Did you guys hear this story? There is a belief out there, a conspiracy theory.
Infowars.com.
That Aaron did not tear his Achilles tendon. That it's a stunt and The healing is miraculous. That bottle he dropped on the field last week. How about that little snunt? Aaron Rodgers saw a friend of his, and this was his account on the Pat McAfee show. Aaron Rodgers saw a friend of his who was like, "Hey, Aaron," and he says he has an English accent. He went over there, hugs the guy, and they did. They bro hugged.
Stay hard.
And they booty patted and stuff. And Aaron turns around and he says there was a bottle of tequila waiting for him that he gets every year from another friend. Picked it up, spilled the tequila all over the field. Only problem is it didn't look like tequila.
Yeah, I've been immunized.
Now, there ain't a chance in hell that was a bong full of ayahuasca, which is what people say it was. No, it was not. I don't know what it was. And I'm hoping it was tequila. But whatever. I don't care. But I believe he tore his Achilles. Did he tear it completely? I don't know. He had an Achilles injury. Is this the most miraculous Achilles recovery that any human being has ever partaken in? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. In fact, it is. It is the most ridiculous comeback.
Where is Aaron right now?
That I've ever seen. So my guess is Aaron didn't have a complete tear.
Well, and this treatment that he got was like world renowned and new technology, and that's all fine and dandy, dude. I'm not sitting here wishing for the guy to be on the injured list any longer than he needs to be. But what bothers me about the whole situation is that Aaron is infamous for playing the marketing, change the narrative game, whether it's hey, Aaron, did you get a vaccine? I've been immunized. Like trying to trick the media,
But he says he's coming back in mid-December.
Yeah, whatever, dude. I'll believe it when I see it, bro. I'll believe it when I see it.
October. 3.5 months.
Yeah,
4 months.
I'll believe it when I see it.
If he comes back, he did not tear his Achilles. I don't give a crap's butthole what anybody says. That's not a thing. Big Daddy Magic, the official ambassador of the Monty Show. Now, you want to complain about somebody? Here we go. He now is meeting all these famous people. Does he get him to do a shout out for the Monty Show?
Nope.
He's the official Monty Show ambassador. He saw Pat McAfee when he was in Salt Lake. Did he say, "Hey, Pat, can you give me a shout out for Monty"?
Nope.
No, he didn't.
How dare you?
No, he did not. Watching you, sir. Anyway, Buffalo doesn't have a quarterback problem. They have Josh Allen, the greatest quarterback in the game today. Okay. I mean, listen, I can't stop you from using marijuana medicinally. You probably shouldn't do it when you make comments because he's not the best quarterback in the NFL. I don't know. I don't even know that is he top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL? If we say who's the best quarterback in the NFL right now?
You already know the answer.
Yeah, Sam Howell, who leads the NFL in passing yards.
I'm unfamiliar with it.
Actually, no. What if we go QBR? If we go QBR, Josh Allen's not there. It's Brock Purdy. What about rating? No, Brock Purdy, number 1. Tua tagged by your mama is number 2.
I'm for real.
Dak, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, CJ. Oh, there's Josh Allen down at number 7. Where do you? I put him probably in the top 5. I mean,
Patty.
I think you have to look at
Jalen Hurts.
I think you have to look at, Patrick Mahomes, number 1 by far. I just think the guy in the clutch is
clutch.
There's nothing to even talk about.
Yeah.
But if I look at interceptions right now of guys who have played, I mean, Patrick Mahomes has 17 and 8. I mean, Mac Jones is terrible, but he's still better than Josh Allen.
Real quick.
No, I'm kidding.
5 minutes on this. Is the hoodie being fired after the season? Because there's no way in hell you're doing
not
it in
firing
the season,
him during
dude.
the season.
You're not firing him during the season.
Wait, you jamoke.
What?
Is Josh Allen a top 5 quarterback in the NFL?
No, he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. He's not a top 5 quarterback right now. It's Patty, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow. Honestly, CJ Stroud's got to be there, right? I mean, I know he's a rookie, but he's playing his ass off, and he deserves to be
Where
there.
is Brock anyway?
Well,
I have a lot of questions about Brock Purdy right now. He's got gaudy numbers.
Yeah, stat sheet says he's top 5, but in the clutch, like when you need him to make a play, I'm not sure. I think he's still got some proving to do there.
Yeah,
but he can run that offense all day. Like when
Tua Tagovailoa or Josh Allen.
Probably Josh.
Jared Goff or Josh Allen.
Jared Goff right now. Yeah.
Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. Fuck off. You're hesitating.
Lamar's been further, hasn't he?
Stop. Josh Allen. We know
Lamar's been in the AFC Championship.
We saw
game,
who Lamar. Well, we saw who Lamar was yesterday.
Yeah, but who has Josh been? You're a Lamar hater, dude. You always have been. And I'm not saying that he's a top 5 guy, but we're sitting here talking about how good Josh is right now, and he's not been very good. And I'm a Josh Allen supporter.
If you look at Trevor Lawrence or Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Trevor Lawrence or CJ Stroud.
Probably CJ.
Joe Burrow. Justin Herbert. Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to find
No, Herbert's a more talented quarterback than Trevor Lawrence.
Hurts or Allen?
Hurts.
Purdy or Allen?
See, that's a close one. Purdy's been in the Super Bowl, dude.
Dak or Josh Allen?
Dak.
Really?
Yeah, I think you got. I think you got it. But okay, but again, by the same measuring stick, Josh has been further. That's what I'm saying. What are we talking about
now? I don't do the
like,
further thing. I do. If you had to have a quarterback right now, Dak Prescott for 404 and 4 touchdowns. It was the Giants. We get it. He was unbelievable.
Still had to make plays, dude.
He's been pretty good. Problem is that Dak Prescott will step out at the 3-yard line or whatever it was.
God.
Josh Allen or the NFC just does not have quarterbacks. I mean, there's nobody I would fight for. I mean, Derek Carr, no. I mean, it's Dak, Purdy, or Hurts. I mean, now the AFC, I think it's top heavy, obviously, with Patty Ice. I don't know.
See, this is the point. The NFL's got a quarterback problem.
I think he's top 10. I don't think he's top 5.
Agreed.
I could be wrong. Let's see. Elaine Tran, I like Brock Purdy. I think I like Brock Purdy. He's awesome. Troy Harper, I hope so, Elaine Tran. Okay. Boss Frog, I loaded up 2 kegs for the tailgate I hosted this weekend. Let's go.
Attaboy.
Tanner Plummer, my guy Carson Wentz will ball out for the Rams. Yeah, how about the Rams signing? I think it's a solid backup plan.
Yeah, Carson Wentz is finally in the position he was born for.
Yeah, it's a solid backup.
Yeah.
Dakota Tubbs, how many Super Bowls does Josh Allen have? Oh, wait, that's right. And he's been the reason they haven't gone to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
My weed says that Jackson is the best. Okay.
Nice, dude.
Okay. Delaric, Monty, I think Daddy Magic is using crack with that statement. Nah, he's good, dude. No crack. Crack kills.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Sexual healings. Okay. Aaron Wilson, tagged by your mama. Yeah, Tua, tagged by your mama. All right. Douglas Snyder, Rule 32.22 says the Big Ten needs to work with the NCAA investigation. No, it does not say that. No, it does not.
It doesn't say that.
It absolutely does not say that. We've talked about that exact rule on this show. Patrick Mahomes got to respect him. Is there any doubt that he is the best?
No.
Hands down.
Clear cut, number 1 quarterback in the league. No question about it. The only question is how much of a price discount is he going to take so his team can be good around him?
I think it is. I think it's very interesting. I think if I don't think, I think these are such opinion-based arguments, but I don't know. I think the NFL has a huge quarterback problem. That's just, I mean, Patrick Mahomes has unbelievable talent and has. And if you put a lot of quarterbacks in that system, man. Boss Frog, we're not calling this game the Blue Bonnet Battle. It's the Revivalry. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I like it. Let's go. Eric Wasikowski, Jared Goff, MVP. Okay. He's had a great run. He's absolutely had a great run, no doubt. Phenomenal Hebrew. I'm surprised you all didn't mention Kirk Cousins. Well, he's out for the year. He actually tore his Achilles.
Who's Kirk Cousins?
You mean Kirk?
Yeah, I don't know who Kirk Cousins is.
Don't be a red ass. Don't be a red ass. Dakota Tubbs. Mahomes has already said that he's made all that money he needs to. He's going to be a ring chaser. He wants the Brady legacy.
And I love that about him.
I love it. John Dry, Dak or Watson? Dak. Come on.
Dak.
That's not even a comparison.
Stop trolling.
AAR, Jalen Hurts or Dak Prescott? Jalen Hurts. He's an MVP caliber quarterback. Johnny Gonzalez. You mean Kirk Cobain? Exactly. Kirk. Jeff Woodworth. Kurt Cousins is Dan Landing's quarterback.
Again, to Tagovailoa your mama.
James, Mahomes can take a pay cut because he's going to make tons of money with his Whataburger restaurants that he owns in Kansas City. God bless him.
Fact.
Did you guys hear that Wendy's is the worst fast food restaurant for you?
Man, I love a Dave's Double too, dude.
Hope Kyle can look as good as he did or better after last week. Kyle.
Not sure who you're referencing, sir.
John Dry. Phil Anselmo is better than Kurt Cobain. Could be. I mean, you know.
Okay.
You know how we playing.
Nice, dude.
You know.
All right.
You know. 32.2.2, the NCAA initiated cases, which
this is not.
It's amazing to me.
Keep trying, dude.
It's amazing to me that people don't understand that the NCAA notified. I'm not even going to get into it. I just, Michigan fan wants to fight and fight and fight. And there is no fight and fight and fight. There, again, I'm just asking you, Michigan fan, why are you fighting for Jim Harbaugh? He's going to be gone potentially 6 games, half the season. And you're going to go 6-0 in those games. And he's got 3 major investigations, and he's admitted to level 1 and level 2 violations. What are you fighting for? What are you fighting for? Asking for a friend. What are you fighting for?
I don't know either. Don't know either.
I would love to know, but I don't know what you're fighting for. And I'm trying to understand it. And you look at the things that Jim's like, this America's team comment is amazing.
The perseverance, and then the stalwartness of these guys. I mean, yeah, Watson, I would have to say, everybody. It's got to be America's team. It's got to be America's team. America loves a team that beats the odds, beats the adversity, overcomes what the naysayers and critics, so-called experts think. That's my favorite kind of team. And yeah, watching it from that view on the television, it was finally people get to see what I see every day.
Okay, so people get to see what you see every day. You're undefeated and nobody's been watching you? Finally, people get to see what I see. Well, play somebody of note. I know, crazy. 2, does that mean people haven't been watching your games all year? 3, what do you mean the perseverance? They're dealing with the shit that you self-inflicted on your program. Well, they're dealing with adversity that you brought to bear. It's your program has not denied the sign stealing allegations. You have not denied the sign stealing operation.
Not once.
You're the one who brought this to your doorstep, sir. You're not a victim, but yet you go on with stuff like this. And I'm amazed by it.
And Michigan fan just takes it hook, line, and sinker, man.
I can't even. Come on, man. Come on. You're not America's team. Knock it off. And Michigan fan, be better. You deserve better. Go demand better. You know what I mean?
You won't. Because again, and I think you've made this point several times, this is precisely why Michigan hired Jim. Jim's a Michigan man. Jim is everyone's All-American. Jim is superhero at Michigan. Jim is somebody that, people are going to die on the hill for, dude. People, no way any of the Michigan alum at ESPN would ever criticize Jim. And again, it's incredible to me, and I respect the hell out of Charles Woodson. The idea that a man of his ability and character and integrity would be buying this due process crap is just so telling about how far their heads are in the sand, man. I'm not even a Michigan hater. I don't really even care all that much about Michigan. You know why I don't have to care about Michigan? Because you haven't won anything. That's the problem here, Michigan fan. You're dying on the hill for someone who hasn't performed. Yet here we go, back and forth, round and round. It was Ryan Day. Now the rules aren't the rules. Like, no way Jim knew. Doesn't matter if he knew, Michigan fan. Like, dude, you're not going to poke holes in this thing. It's ironclad. It's over.
Yeah,
it is over.
I am amazed by it. And I'm just amazed that you get all of this. Like, he's full of crap. And you're just like, yeah, dude, it's amazing.
Oh my God.
Jim Harbaugh, Captain America.
He's our hero.
Wow.
That'd be America's team.
Boyd Lake, Wendy's chocolate frosty. Dip the fries in it. Johnny Gonzalez, I have Chris Cornell overall. Oh, Chris Cornell.
What a savage he was, dude.
I hate that he killed himself.
Yeah.
Sir Bob Lob Laws, Woody Hayes framed Harbaugh from the grave.
Yeah.
From the grave.
Yeah.
James, the argument about Harbaugh will be pointless once Michigan loses to Ohio State. The Buckeyes will win the Big Ten and go to the playoff. We'll see. We shall see. Capazzo, Michigan fans are fighting for the spotlight no matter if it's positive or negative. I would agree with that. Dakota Tubbs, America's team wouldn't need to cheat if they had more rocket pop buckshot.
That'd be America's team.
And again, I here we are.
Yeah, it's an incredible take, dude.
Here we are. If you're in the members only group, I will put the promo code in the group tomorrow morning and probably right around midnight tonight when I get it.
And by the way, I do want to shout out, we did just get another members only content member that DM'd me. I don't know if he's shown himself, but Grad Slack is his YouTube name.
Grad Slack.
Yeah.
I am going to guess that that's Connor's HOA.
Oh, that may be him. Okay.
That I am going to guess. You guys make sure you hit the like button if you have not already. We really appreciate when you guys do that. It helps the channel grow. We're at 7,000 views and we only have 239 likes. So please hit that button, yo.
Hey, y'all.
Let's get the hookup as I look to see. No, that is not.
Huh.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, cool, man.
When did he join? Today?
Yeah, he DM'd me today about 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
We'll have to double check that one, Jake.
Now we'll have to verify and stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to verify.
Yeah, kind of like the FBI does with Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, Stop. Let's see. Eric Wasikowski, Jared Goff for MVP, and America's team would be the Detroit Lions. Again, I understand that, no.
Doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than that.
No. Jeff Woodworth, America's team, make Michigan good again. See what he did there. David Cook, no, Jim. America wants you to lose multiple times. LV Seminole, Jim Harbaugh on the mic is as prepared as Michael Scott in front of everyone in the office.
100%.
Oh, there's just no doubt about it. Like when he said that he found out on social media.
Just somebody showed me their phone.
So via social media or the Big Ten contacted you?
Via social media. Via social media.
Did you expect to hear from the Big Ten, though? I mean, did that catch you off guard that you're reading about it on social media?
Ward was pretty upset. He was on the plane too, and he was pretty upset that he heard it through social media and not through the office.
So the question was,
were you caught off guard?
Not, hey, is Ward upset? Your AD.
because as we reported exclusively on the show Friday, Michigan had been speaking to both the NCAA and the Big Ten all day Thursday and all day Friday. And Michigan gave the NCAA permission to talk with and interact with the Big Ten and release information to them. We were told that it was clear Friday morning the Big Ten communicated a suspension was coming, of what length was to be determined. Michigan knew Jim was not going to be eligible for the Penn State game. That's why they had such a ferocious reply ready to go moments after the suspension was announced. And it's why they were able to so quickly try and file a temporary restraining order, which had to be bounced to the judge who was on duty. And eventually, again, I will say, eventually, there was a hearing scheduled for this coming Friday. He knew he was getting suspended. He knew it. It's just such BS. Like, that's what bothers me so much.
Yes.
Jeff Woodworth, I've heard they call Alabama the Crimson Tide, but they call me Deacon Blues.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool, man.
And wait, by the way, hey, hang on a minute. When are you mother effers going to apologize to me about Jalen Milroe? Where are you? Where are you? Huh? When are you going to apologize to me for Jalen Milroe? Like, I sat on this very program,
right,
and talked about how much I believed in Jalen Milroe. Monty, hey, look, fat ass. He got benched. You're terrible. You don't know anything. Name me a better QB in the SEC right now.
Hugh Janus.
Yeah, I think he's in the ACC. Name me a better quarterback in the SEC.
I need a dick.
Nope. Definitely in the Big Ten. I'm just telling you, Jalen Milroe is already the best quarterback in the SEC.
I personally would like an apology.
And you jerks need to apologize and just recognize not only my amazing good looks, but my talent for analyzing football. Donovan McNabb throws up in his face mask, as I told you he did.
Till one of us passes the fuck out.
And it was you, Donovan, and not Terrell Owens.
Right. And
Jalen Milroe is the best quarterback in the SEC already.
It's my quarterback.
I mean, I'm sitting here waiting for the apology. Let me recheck. Okay.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and refresh it there, sir?
Well, let's talk about it. I'm a good listener.
And you guys, of course, did not disappoint because you just put the hook right in your mouth. Oh, look, Jaden Daniels is better. Yeah, the problem is he's not durable, and he's about 100 pounds, and he gets thrown around like a wet sock. Are his numbers off the chart? Yes. Has a better offensive line, has superior wide receivers. Yet Jalen Milroe, who throws a better deep ball? Oh, that's right, Jalen Milroe.
Go Tide!
And I'm asking for a friend now. I want you to know I'm asking for a friend. How did the matchup head-to-head go? Not good.
You know.
Yeah, I think Jalen left with a broken nether region area.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
And I mean, that's painful. I can empathize, I guess.
I think that's HIPAA.
I would not be so certain to say, oh, Jalen Milroe, he's no Jade McDaniels, but he'll do. So if we look, honest, I love the honest engine. If we look,
honest engine.
That's a saying from my childhood.
Okay.
If we look, how much better is Jade McDaniels? Numbers wise, he's superior. His statistics are absolutely outstanding. But if we look at Jalen Milroe and the fact that he's only played, 10 games, or 9 games, everybody else has played 10. He's certainly, in my opinion, already caught guys like Spencer Rattler, who throws underneath every chance he gets. Mertz, same thing. Milton at Tennessee. I think the only argument is Jalen Milroe. And I will just say Jaden Daniels' numbers are ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 3,164 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions for Daniels. Why did he transfer away from Herm Edwards? Oh, that's right. They fired Ray Anderson today. But my point is, yes, he got fired. My point is, I agree that Jaden Daniels' statistics are far and away better. I think I would have a hard time taking Jaden Daniels over Milroe.
Yeah, I think the difference is that Milroe is going to play, in the games that matter, meaning, hey, yeah, cool. Jaden can throw up all those numbers, but Bama's going to be there and LSU is not.
And if you look at LSU's offense, because let's just look at their offense. You look at the fact that Jaden Daniels is their leading rusher by a lot, not close. And he's got Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors. I don't know that Alabama has a wide receiver, certainly not upper class, that is the likes of Malik Neighbors.
Well, and the difference is Alabama, you can't name one wide receiver worth a damn in that room. At least LSU has people to work with.
And I think that they're getting better. And next year, I think Alabama's wide receivers will be, and we've talked about this. I think next year, you look at guys like Bond, and I look at Isaiah Bond and I say, okay, he's a sophomore. This is his first real playing time. But you look at somebody like probably their best receiver is Jermaine Burton, senior. And what does it tell you? He's good. He's not great. He's not elite, certainly. He certainly, and I also say systematically, that's a run first team. And now with Jalen, they're a big play team because I think he averages 10.8 yards per attempt.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, look, I like Daniels. I do. And we could have this argument. The only knock that you have on Jalen Milroe is he does not complete as passes at a high enough clip yet.
Yeah. Daniels is at 71%. Milroe's at 65%.
You got to be a 70% passer.
Yes.
Have to be. I would take Jalen Milroe over Jaden Daniels, I think, probably every time.
Well, and I think completion percentage might be the best example of your point. Like Graham Mertz leads the SEC in completion percentage, but they're terrible.
Yeah.
They're awful, as we saw over the weekend. Carson Beck, second at 72%. Then you've got Jaden Daniels. Then you've got some guys, and then Jalen Milroe. So he's got to step up to 70%.
I look at Carson Beck, and you got to look at that offense. Man, you got to look at that offense. You have to look at the way that they do not throw the ball all over the field. They're an underneath team. I guarantee you yards per attempt is under 10 yards, probably under 9 yards. He's right around 9 yards, I would guess. They're an underneath team. And I think it should be yards to reception. So yards to target. That's a very telling stat.
Mm-hmm.
And they're an underneath team. And when you have a tight end, the caliber of Georgia's tight end, you're going to do that. Who, by the way, Brock Bowers was back. Did anybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I think it's a great argument. I think Jaden Daniels is just so injury prone and takes so many big hits because he wants to run so much.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. Let's see. Rick G, shout out to my UCF Knights for the game on Saturday. How about that?
Yeah, nice win.
Woo!
Nice win.
Maury Alvarez, a member of the show for 10 months. Harbaugh's so full of it, he talks out his butt.
He really does, though.
He does. OG Gary, if you give us a decent defense, that's a natty guaranteed. Well,
yeah,
nobody gives anything in college football, and welcome to the Brian Kelly days. Now, I'm not saying that Notre Dame's better without Brian Kelly based on Marcus Freeman, but we're not worse.
Notre Dame, our mother.
And that's pretty telling. Jaden Daniels, 11.5 yards a pass. Jalen, all the things we said.
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe's upside is exponentially higher than Jaden Daniels.
Agreed.
Exponentially higher. Jeff Woodworth. Nobody hates a USC D minus fence. There you go. Right. You really think? No. There's no way Lincoln's leaving USC.
No way. No way.
Not
dude.
after the
Not
he's been a failure.
Dude. Not for A&M.
He's been a failure. OG Gary, 0% of the time am I taking Milroe over Jaden. Have you seen Milroe play? If you've seen Milroe play, and I'm guessing most people will go back to the LSU game because I think it's one of their best wins of the season. And that was 15 of 23, 219 yards, 42-yard long, and he got sacked twice. That's the other thing I think people don't want to talk about. Do you guys guess it? How many? Just put a number in your head. How many times do you think Jalen Milroe's been sacked? Just put a number in your head.
30.
32. God damn. 32.
Yeah, look, OG Gary's an LSU guy, so probably not, with all due respect, dude, you're probably not having a.
I think that if you look at their, I mean, it's not even close, you guys. I mean, LSU's offensive line is far better. And again, Jaden Daniels is far more experienced. Yeah,
that's the other thing I think that LSU fan can't get away from is that Jalen Milroe's in a developmental season contending with your boy.
Trying to figure out if he was a starter or not. And he's been sacked 12 more times.
And hey, maybe let's just be generous. Let's be generous. Say half of those are on him.
Half
at most. So if half of those are on him, okay, cool. But there's no denying he's got a garbage offensive line. Sabaneder himself says they have a garbage offensive line. Like it might be the worst offensive line in the last decade. I think this is the worst team Nick Saban's had what you just said in his time at Alabama.
And I think he's done a great job coaching.
Yeah.
I think he's done a great job coaching. I truly do. Jeff Woodward, Bears getting the hoodie. No, they're not. Stop.
We're not making any changes.
The only thing I ask the stupid, terrible, awful ownership of the Bears is not to hire Jim Harbaugh. It's the only thing I ask.
Why? The Cubs hired Craig Counsell. What's the difference?
Why bring that up? God, you're such a jerk. Do you see what I'm being? This is what I deal with as a Chicago sports fan. We have a more than adequate manager already. And we hire our rivals in Milwaukee. We hire their manager away.
Mm-hmm.
What sense does that make? Johnny Gonzalez, if Milroe wins Natty, his next year NIL deal, he'll change his name to Milho. It's a very good opportunity to do that. You a hoe. Fair. I'm being biased. He's my guy.
There you go.
That's right. Love you, Gary. Connor's HOA Press. James Franklin, big game play calling in big games isn't exciting as geriatric strip joints. He is not a good
because it's garbage.
Not at all.
Yeah, talk about a program that needs to move along. Damn.
I'm serious. All right, there you go. The Monty Show, as always, presented by our good friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com. Hit them up on Venmo, Advocates donations. You guys are trying to raise money for Thanksgiving families. A lot of people can't afford Thanksgiving dinner, man. Let's hook them up. Advocates donations, the best injury attorneys in the business, theadvocates.com. Say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.